Okay, so, hello everyone. It's your favorite programming error that just refused to be fixed, CodeErr, and we're gonna be continuing with some Genshin Impact today, because there's still more Genshin Impact to Genshin Impact all over the Genshin Impact. So, let's Genshin Impact this Genshin Impact, right? Genshin Impact. Because that is apparently what I still do, even though I have a much more enjoyable gacha game that I also play. Still, we're committed to this game, for better or for worse.
Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist
I guess we have
spots,
no choice but
I have a few
to go.
references.
Also, ignore that. Apparently, I forget that now the Steam overlay is a thing that for some reason, I don't know why that's a thing, by the way. Or not not Steam, but rather Discord. I don't know why that is a thing now, where Discord intentionally is just like, hey, you want me to show up all over your games? No, I'm gonna do it anyway. I don't understand it. I don't think I ever will understand why it does that now mandatorily. I can disable it. Okay, I guess I'll have to look into it. I don't know why it just turned that feature on by default. Also, hi Spinne, by the way, and congrats on being first. But yeah, I don't know why when they add a new feature like that, it has to automatically be turned on by default whether you want it or not. Feels like a stupid decision, but oh well. Now, things happened since last time. Specifically, there's this going on now. This new event. Which I probably should prioritize, considering there's only 11 days left on that. Which means, guess what? And I am pretty sure this event is voice acted or supposed to be voice acted. It certainly seems like one of those bigger events, as you can see. Generally, if they offer you a crown of insight and they have like a anime overlay like this, you can assume that, yeah. And what do they want? They want me to do this one first. Not completing it will not affect the gameplay or rewards. Areas or characters being occupied. Or meeting characters early. Seems kind of stupid, as per usual. Again, I don't want to drop the R word, but it definitely seems moronic at the very least. The way Genshin handles this kind of stuff. Where they release a limited time event that basically is like, oh, you better play all the other stuff first. Even though this event is only there for a limited time. You better play all the other stuff first, and then by the time you're done with that, you better hope and pray that the limited time event is still around. But they're not asking me to play the other stuff ahead of time. Like, they're recommending it, but they're not asking me to. Normally, what Genshin does is they're like, are you sure you want to start this? Normally they're like, are you sure you want to start this quest line? Because you should do this and this first. They're not doing that for this event. For this event, they're just saying they recommend having completed the other quest first, but they're not saying, oh, are you sure? We don't recommend playing this. Please, please, please make sure you play the other one. Click to confirm that you are certain. Since they are not asking me to confirm that I am certain, I assume it is not a big deal to play this ahead of time. I sure would hope so, because once again, I still go by the standpoint that Genshin Impact and their event time frames are designed by morons. But
hey,
that's just what I think.
Wanna grab a copy of the Steambird?
Anyway, let's see what this event's all about.
Friends love a little drama. There's no way they let their readers down. Isn't that Charlotte? And standing next to her, surely that can't be Kanich?
And yes, I know that P5X is a game that's in the works or whatever.
Behold the beauty of the Remurian teacup.
I am not gonna look into the game at all, thank you very much, because I still haven't finished P5R. And Charlotte, you can fuck right off, I hate you. Hold up. This one's a gem. Illegal restaurant caught serving saurian stew. Proved surprisingly popular.
Pretty shocking. But it still feels like it's missing something. Ah, got it. Udex gravely wounded in shocking stabbing. Set to miss cross-border smuggling trial.
My oh my, that can't be for real. Yeah, see, it's nice that other games are handling that a lot better, apparently, even other Hoyoverse games. All the more reason why Genshin is a piece of shit that I'm only playing out of obligation at this point. Fine, I hate to admit it, but you've won this one.
Huh? What? Did Paimon hear that right? Natlan was stabbed and gravely wounded? No, surely that can't be right. Can it?
Surely not. I thought I heard familiar voices. Well, if it isn't Code and Paimon. What a coincidence. Mr. Kenichi and I were talking about you two just a few minutes ago. Unfortunately for me, he's a very loyal friend. I pressed him for some juicy details, but he remained tight-lipped about you. So, anything you want to share with me about the great Code's triumphant exploits in Natlan? It was a team effort. Modest as ever. Anyway, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, sorry. Let me backtrack a little. Hi, you two, it's been ages. What brings you back to Fontaine?
Hey there, you two. Fancy running into you here.
What a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, that, and also a less than pleasant shock. What the heck was all that about a saurian meat restaurant and the Udex getting stabbed? Please say you weren't being serious.
Oh, that? We were just trading tabloid headlines. Is that what you're talking about?
Trading tabloid headlines?
Yeah. Charlotte and I were having a little contest to see who could find the most ridiculous fake news stories. Either I got lucky, or I have a knack for honing in on the most outrageous material.
I'm sorry you had to see such an unflattering side of Fontaine, Mr. Kenichi. These third-rate tabloids write their headlines purely to shock and scandalize. All they care about is grabbing your attention to boost their sales. Ones who've still got a shred of integrity will at least clarify the truth in the main body of the article, although the misleading headline is an underhanded trick to draw readers in. Classic clickbait. But others, like the one we were just reading aloud, have no qualms about making outright fabrications.
If I had to quantify it, I'd say about 1% of what they write is the truth.
Or do you have something else in mind somehow? Actually, I don't have anything specific in mind for Roblox. If we somehow, by some miracle, hit that last sub goal, I am open to hearing chat suggestions as to what Roblox games or game we should be checking out. That's pretty lenient of you, Mr. Kenichi.
Huh? Him? Lenient? Oh, you gotta be kidding! Ah!
Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to give credit to these so-called news stories for occasionally including a grain of truth. All I'm saying is, even the wildest leaps of the human imagination are always rooted in reality.
You mean all those fake headlines you mentioned actually do have some basis in fact?
Sure they do.
Intriguing.
For instance, there was in fact a smuggling trial recently. Considering the amount of speculation surrounding the smuggled goods,
on the
it's no wonder there are rumors about restaurants serving saurian meat or teacups being unearthed from ancient ruins.
You know what? Here's a dealio. As I said, if we somehow, by some unholy miracle, which again I don't believe that will ever happen, if we somehow reach the last sub goal and still get more subs, which I don't think we'll get anywhere near the last sub goal if I'm being honest, but if that somehow happens, I'm open for chat suggestions for additional games to extend the stream.
But in reality, the goods in question were simply a few ancient relics dug up from ruins in Natlan. Rest assured, no saurians were harmed in the process.
And if you're wondering why the Udex didn't preside over the trial, it's because this case was assigned to another judge right from the offset. It's not as if the Palais Memoria only has one judge. We can't expect Monsieur Nouvelet to handle every single case himself. On a more interesting note, the trial in question went remarkably smoothly. And it was all thanks to Mr. Kenichi's testimony as a key witness.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I see.
Paimon was so busy freaking out about those headlines that she totally forgot to ask why you're here in Fontaine, Kenich.
It was all a misunderstanding. The world's not going to end. Maybe not, but it'd be an even bigger world for me if Mr. Kenichi would agree to another exclusive interview with the Steambird.
It was a pretty open and shut case, and my testimony in court was clear enough.
I don't know about anything past that. Fair enough.
I'm guessing, Mademoiselle Charlotte, that you're less interested in the case than
I
you
know
are in
you're
trying to
very
uncover some
interested
news
in
stories
Dream
about
Barbecue.
Natlan.
I know. That's why, you know, again, originally, when I chose the games, like, for it, I intended to only pick games that we've streamed on the channel before. But then I realized that you would be very upsetty if I didn't add Dream Barbecue, so I've decided, you know what? I'll give it to you. And I'll add it relatively early. Like, what is it? It's only the third goal, I think? Yeah, it's only the third goal, if I'm not mistaken, so I added it pretty early on there. Drat, you saw right through me. Guess I'll put it down to the keen instincts of a renowned saurian hunter. Any response to that, or?
I appreciate your kind invitation.
Yeah, a lot more test
but
rounds
like
would
I said,
be cool, I guess.
Storytelling isn't really my forte.
It doesn't have to be the last subathon, though. But hey, 1K has to be the first. And the first subathon, considering anything that is a first-time thing, should be used as a learning experience, I think.
Kenich the speechless! Kenich the tongue-tied!
So I will use that first subathon as a learning experience.
If you're dead set on doing an interview, why not talk to the Traveler instead?
Back to me again. Yeah, of course, that's a brilliant idea. But that also means I'll need a bit more time to prep. Let me put together a thorough list of interview questions. Sounds like I'm not allowed to refuse. Well, I know I can be persistent, but at the end of the day, it's your call. Anyway, I should probably be getting back to work. I also need to track down Gestionnaire and report these increasingly outrageous tabloids. Farewell, my friends, until we meet again. Hopefully not so soon. Next time we meet, you better have a voice or don't show up ever again.
Anyway, Paimon just has to ask. That how thing that popped out before, or was it a how? It kind of looked like a how, but at the same time...
Oh, that thing. Yeah, that was a how.
Yeah, that thing.
Huh? What's up with him? Like, he's still noisy, but he's way quieter than before. It's like he's trying to hide or something.
Maybe he's not acclimatizing well to Fontaine.
Could be.
Not acclimatizing? Aw, poor Almighty Dragon Lord is not feeling well.
Too bad he can't come out to argue back.
What do you mean?
There's nothing physically wrong with him. It actually has to do with a strange law we learned about after arriving in Fontaine.
Aha! I know about that strange law. I can't believe I actually remember that. Have you tried tying a little rope to a how? It's fine if it's a balloon. We did the same thing with Paimon when we first arrived. Just tie a little string to a how like we did with Paimon, and it'll count as a balloon of some sorts, and you'll be fine in terms of legalities.
Apparently, it's forbidden to release flying objects within Fontaine city limits during the first 3 days of each month.
And I'm sure Paimon gets it even better.
Paimon sure does. Paimon's been down this road before. There's an easy solution. As long as Kenich holds onto a how's tail, he'll be considered an Almighty Dragon Lord balloon, not a flying Almighty Dragon Lord.
Not gonna lie, I was considering that. But a how wasn't too thrilled with the idea of huffing and puffing away in the form of a mini helium balloon. That said, it's pretty annoying how he keeps randomly popping up all of a sudden. Anyway, this morning I saw a notice outside the Palais Mermonia about an event that's set to take place outside the city soon. Something to do with filmmaking. I hear that's all the rage
Oh,
here.
another filmmaking event,
I was planning to stay here and do some exploring for a few extra days anyway, so I think I'll go check it out. It'll be a good chance to let that noisy helium balloon out. He might even learn a thing or two. If you're free, why don't you come along?
Sure, seeing how angry always makes my day.
I know where it is, so let me lead the way.
An overnight fantasy land. It's interesting that it's a multi-act event, apparently, but it's only like... Normally these multi-act events are like a month long. This one's like what? 2 weeks total? It's not a lot. I guess...
Looks like I remembered correctly.
I guess Hoyover.
Here we are.
I guess the Genshin devs. I mean, I don't know if all the same people are working on Genshin as on the other Hoyo games, but specifically the Genshin devs really don't care about giving players an opportunity to experience the stuff they make. But then again, it's becoming increasingly more and more obvious that the Genshin devs do not care about their players at all.
Yeah. It was still completely deserted only a few days ago when I passed by on my way to testify at the Opera House. There must be some efficient workers in Fontaine. Quite impressive.
A few days? One night was all it took. Rap-a-tap-tap, ta-da! But is this all it takes to blow people away? Oh, no, no, no. Given my past experience, I can't let myself get carried away.
Who are you again?
Oh no, you've forgotten me? Oh, does graph adversarial technology ring any bells? It's me, Lapine Pauline.
It has been a bit since I did anything here. Prototype lenses come in handy, by the way. Oh, right, prototype lenses and shit. Okay, I see that stuff.
How else would we have managed to build Fantasyland in a single night?
Fantasyland?
At least that's how I like to think of it myself. A magical land of fantasy, the stuff of film buffs' dreams. I know it sounds like I'm laying it on thick, but that really is the goal here. As you can see, the theme of this amusement park is Fontainian filmmaking, a place for all film lovers to come together and co-construct a world of dreams.
Co-construct?
Is that so?
Well, that's a relief. Sounds like you're sharing the cost this time rather than pouring your entire life savings into a single project.
Nope! I might be inviting others to help fund this, but that doesn't mean I haven't thrown all of my life savings into it too!
Huh? You've got to be kidding.
Well, that's a you
Look
problem.
At you puny little humans.
Don't let her how out.
Recklessly betting your entire future against some stupid vanity project. If you're expecting even an ounce of sympathy from the almighty Dragon Lord, dream on! Mockery is all you shall get, straight from the heart!
Yeah,
Sorry, just ignore that little gizmoid. He likes to butt in occasionally. Do go on.
You're breaking the law by letting him out.
Gizmoid! You're the Gizmoid!
Wow! That's quite a nifty mecha you've got yourself there. Is it some sort of smart personal assistant?
I wouldn't call
You
it
oughta let Miss
smart.
Charlotte see your cool gadget. Who knows? Maybe you could even look into mass production.
The last thing we need is mass production of a how.
Insolent, vulgar, and disrespectful! I, the almighty Dragon Lord, am one of a kind! There has never been another like me, nor will there ever be! And another thing, smart is the
No, it's the
overstatement
overstatement of the century.
I shall have you know that I am Kahulahau, forebear of ancient wisdom. I lived for eons long before any of you were born!
What? Heavens above! I beg your pardon, forebear of ancient wisdom. Please,
Don't beg
I meant no
anything.
Idiot meets idiot.
What's all the fuss? Making some new friends, are we?
Navia, I'm glad you have a voice. Let's go. That is happy
Allow me to
news.
introduce the star behind all the work that's gone into this venue. Miss Navia, president of Fontaine Spina di Rosula.
So she finally returned. Pretty sure last time we were in Fontaine, she was still unvoiced.
Hello, everyone. Partner, Paimon, how have you been lately?
My trusty partner, I
Hello
am
there.
glad to see
Ganesh.
you. I am glad to see any person that has a voice.
What about me? What about me? My useless servant can't even give me a proper introduction.
You think someone yelling their name out in the middle of a public street really needs an introduction?
Also, hi Tormuse, how's it going? Hello.
He's not wrong. I caught yours just now, in fact. So, you must be the almighty Dragon Lord, Mr. Ahau. It's a pleasure to meet you.
I'm just admiring the fact that there's actually some voice actors that are back now. Hooray. And you got left hanging.
Oh, see that? That's what I call proper manners. Well, it's not every day you meet a well-mannered human. Navia, was it? Excellent. You may address the almighty Dragon Lord by his name. Navia, don't you think the title Almighty Dragon Lord is a bit silly?
More than just a bit.
It's no big deal. All little animals
Then
do
again,
that, don't they? I mean, try to puff
She
themselves
does a lot
up
of
to
role
look more
playing, so
impressive.
everything is fine. Ahau's totally being treated like a cuddly pet.
Anyway, it's all thanks to Miss Navia and the Spina di Rosula that Fantasyland's gotten up and running in the space of a single night. Honestly, thank heavens! After all that paperwork and endless waiting, the event and venue finally got the green light. I couldn't wait a moment longer.
Alright,
The
so
second the
how
approval came
exactly
through,
does this
I
event
reached out to
work?
President Navia, hoping she could lend a hand. After all, who else but the Spina di Rosula would indulge such impulsive demands?
Sorry, traveler. Miss Lapine Pauline sometimes gets a bit overwhelmed by her own excitement.
Yes.
As you can see. I'm guessing she hasn't gone into much detail about the event yet. So
That
let
is
me fill
actually
you
what
in.
I was just asking.
In
So,
short,
there we
the
go.
Cheval Moran Film Fantasyland is a fan convention that's open to film enthusiasts from all over Teyvat. Miss Lapine Pauline is hosting this event and also providing technical support.
Huh? Cheval Moran?
That's right, the one and only Surintendant Cheval Moran.
I'm not
After
gonna be
much
able to say that
persistence
name.
and many solicitations, I finally obtained Lady Farina's permission to use the image of her close friend. Not only is our adorable mascot drawing in fans by the minute, but she's also boosting her own popularity. And that was always the goal, a win-win arrangement.
I
It's
wonder
been a
if
while
Farina
since
is
we
gonna be
last met, but
voiced.
still, it's a surprise to hear Lapine Pauline
She
coming
better
out
be.
with such sensible
I'm gonna be
ideas.
upset. Like, I'm gonna be upset about every
By the
character
way,
that still doesn't
Miss
have a
Lapine
voice.
Pauline, have you decided to switch careers and go into film tech?
Not exactly.
Which
By
is why I
chance, one of
hate
the
a
prototype
certain
lenses I developed
reporter
caught a
that we met
photographer's eye,
earlier.
and it's now being used for the latest cinematic productions. Thanks to this unexpected opportunity, I've had the chance to invent various film-related equipment and props.
That's right. So don't underestimate Miss Lapine Pauline, our resident
Can we be
engineer.
angry Farina doesn't have a
She's
voice?
the technical
Yes,
powerhouse at the core of
agreed.
this entire event. As for the Spina di Rosula, we're mainly here to take care of planning, operations,
I
and
mean, they got
management.
Navia's voice back, so
For anyone feeling inspired
you
to
know.
set up a booth, Miss Lapine Pauline and I will provide the necessary technical and operational support once their application has been approved. By the way, traveler, are you at all interested in taking part?
that's why I'm here.
It would be a chance for you to earn some extra income. Plus, with your skills, I'm sure you could bring something special to the table.
Sounds like fun.
Paimon would be even more tempted if you were to, say, throw in one of those fancy feasts she's seen in those gourmet
Unlike a
food
certain
reels.
someone. I mean, hey.
Well, as it happens, that'll be a piece of cake. Everyone needs to eat, whether they be tourists or the stall
I'm just
owners
mad at the
themselves.
entire situation.
So thanks to Miss Navia's help, we've managed to invite none other than the celebrity chef Miss Escoffier to run our theme restaurant. Look over there.
You! Yes, you! For the last time.
Oh, hey, that's the new
ingredients have to be in
character.
the right ratio. Get it right next
She's asking
time,
for
or
cat
you might
food?
as well just
Imagine.
lie down on the chopping board yourself.
The new character! whose story quest I haven't played yet. Escoffier, a famous chef and pioneer from Fontaine's precision gastronomy, a culinary movement that takes the rigorous precision and quantitative methods that are routine in scientific experimentation and applies them to cooking. In the eyes of her students, she is both a genius who strives for perfection and a stickler whose exacting standards fill them with dread. To create dishes that transcend the sublime, she's constantly pushing the boundaries of flavor. Alright. Cat food brand? Well, I haven't heard of it, but I definitely can imagine that being a cat food brand.
She seems a bit busy right now.
Well, I'm sold. I think I'll make a How go be her assistant.
You little... What's your game here?
Demoiselle, sorry to bother you, but there's an issue over here that requires your personal attention.
Ah, apologies. Looks like it's back to work with me. Please feel free to take a gander at what we've got. Anyway, if you're interested in taking part, come find me later.
Sure thing, I guess. Well, multiple people I need to talk to, I guess. Well, for one Navia, but... Really? I thought there was another dot that I saw pop up. Where is this one? Yeah. Gotta talk to you too, I guess.
Greetings. Apologies if you overheard my harsh words just now, but I assure you it is entirely necessary. The sheer lack of standards here will be the death of me. Do you have any idea of the kind of customers I'm gonna get with how lax things are at the moment?
Well, so far she seems like a kind person.
The ones that leave their guns behind by accident, and then come back to collect them later, bringing ammunition with them.
Yeah, that's the kind of customer you wouldn't forget in a hurry.
Oh.
Wait, has that happened before?
No.
Really,
it's
it
just
hasn't,
the
really.
mention of guns reminded me. Someone did actually leave their gun nearby.
Huh?
Just before we started setting up, as we were cleaning up the site, someone stumbled upon a mysterious locked box. It didn't look like something from Fontaine, though. It had more of a Natlanese vibe.
Oh?
Is that so?
Do you think a foreign tourist might have left it behind?
That's what I assumed at first. But the box was buried beneath a pile of wooden planks, rocks, and whatnot.
Like someone
so
was
seemed
intentionally
like
trying to hide
deliberately
it.
hid it there.
Yeah. For
But
someone
I
else to
didn't
pick
see
up,
much
I
point in
guess?
speculating, so the best thing I could think of was to hand it over to the authorities.
The
I
sensible
trekked
decision.
all the way over to the Palais Mermonia just to hand it in. Ugh, it was exhausting.
What did the authorities make of it?
Oh, they made a mountain out of a molehill, as usual. Before even addressing the question of what was actually inside the box, they had several heated discussions about whose responsibility it was to write the lost and found notice. Thankfully, the ever-reliable Officer Sedine stepped up and immediately called in the Marechaussee Phantom to crack the lock and check if there were any dangerous items inside.
And what was inside?
As it turned out,
Oh, that was where the gun
there
was.
was a gun.
Wow, that's a dangerous item, all right.
Mind if I ask what kind of gun it was?
Oh yeah, Mr. Kanich, you're from Natlan,
All
aren't
right.
you?
Phantoms?
You know a lot
For
about
real? Yes.
You
for
could say
real.
it comes with the job. I have an interest in weaponry and the like.
Such a spoiled brat. What, are the toys I gave you not good enough for you anymore?
Yep, got sick of those long ago.
You little... How dare you turn your nose up at my gifts? Why
Starrel now has a Phantom Thief. There are many games that have
Time
a Phantom
for a timeout,
Thief.
old-timer. Sorry, where were we? Oh yeah, do you recall what the gun looked like?
It's a bit hard to describe. If you ask me, it didn't even really look like a gun. Give me a second. I'll knock out a quick sketch.
Okay. We're about to see a gun. What's the quick sketch gonna look like?
Something like this.
What a sketch! That's what you consider a quick sketch. Okay, sure, got it.
So neat and precise.
Sketched by a professional engineer, after all.
It's nothing.
Hmm.
Sorry. Is something wrong with my drawing? I know it doesn't really look like a gun, but I assure you, this is exactly what it looked like. And it certainly could shoot as well, too. I confirmed that with the officer from the Marechaussee Phantom.
No. Quite the opposite. The features are very accurate, and it is definitely from Natlan. Please, don't mind me.
Okay, then.
I'm just taking a moment to admire it.
What are you looking at me for? Thanks a lot, Lapine Pauline.
I should be the one thanking you. Thank you, and everyone else for your support.
Don't mention it. Besides, we haven't really done anything.
Not at all. The buzz and excitement you guys bring is exactly what this event needs.
I guess that's
Oh,
what
dear.
why I'm here, for marketing
starting to
reasons.
Feel a bit guilty watching everyone else toil away. Guess it's about time I got back to work too. But just before I go, one last thing. Traveler, it's wonderful to see you. Here's to a successful collaboration.
No. Nothing successful about this. Seems like Kenichi has something to say. Let's go find a quiet spot. After saying goodbye to Lapine Pauline, you and Kenichi find somewhere you can chat.
I'm sure you noticed that there was something unusual about that gun.
It looked ancient.
Correct. It's most likely an old weapon dug up from some ancient dragon ruins. Based on my experience, it might be more accurate to refer to it as a hand cannon. But in Fontaine terms, it's not wrong to call it a gun. Given why I came here, don't you think it's curious that an ancient dragon relic of unknown origin would turn up like this? Out of the blue?
Certainly convenient timing.
I suspect this gun might have something to do with that smuggling case. It might have slipped through the cracks. Time is of the essence, so I'd like to head over to the Palais Mermonia to verify my suspicions.
I think I'll join you.
Perfect. Then we can head out right away. Or, if you want to catch up with your friends first, I can wait.
Right, I still need to talk to Navia as well. But that's interesting. 2 quest lines. Oh, but that's a side quest, huh? How to run... Yeah, I assume that's just a side quest thingy. I don't know. If it's a side quest, it's probably not even voice acted. I guess I'll confirm whether or not it is one real quick.
Traveler, it's you!
Oh, no, never mind. This is
Ready
also
to
important.
join the Cheval Moran Film Fantasyland crew?
Let's do this.
It's time, dear partner in Paimon, for us to turn our attention to the Cheval Moran Film Fantasyland. As I mentioned, the park was started up by enthusiasts who brought in the Spina di Rosula to handle the planning, construction, and operations. Of course, enthusiasts aren't typically all-around experts. They usually stick to designing the event booths. We, for our part, handle long-term operations and develop standardized strategy guides for the different activities.
Different activities like...
Long-term operations? Strategy? It all sounds so complicated. We spend most of our time adventuring and we barely have any experience running a stall. Do you think we can handle this?
Not every big boss went to business school, you know?
That's more like it. You've seen it all before, haven't you, partner? I'd even go as far as to say you've shaped some of Teyvat's biggest business ventures. Anyway, first things first.
I guess we have.
Let's get an overview of how the whole festival's gonna be run.
Oh. Well, there we go. That triggers the event properly.
As you can see, our Fantasyland's a bit like a sugar-free
Hi,
macaron
Shiny.
right now. Several areas are still under construction. The Spina's only been able to hire a limited number of craftsmen. Besides, we don't have enough experience to handle multiple projects simultaneously. And that's why I chose to adopt a time slot-based planning method, so we can focus on specific tasks during each designated period. Upgrading facilities, expanding the venue, hiring staff. All of this requires funds and time slots to
Oh
accomplish.
god, there's time. Well, good thing I played this event now. I hate this. A limited time event that's only around for like 2 weeks, and it's an event that takes time as well. They keep messing their stuff up.
So, it's our job to allocate precious time slots in each business cycle to the most worthwhile tasks. As we attract more guests and earn money to add to our funds, we'll also be able to work more efficiently, which will allow us to divide each cycle into finer time slots, which will let us get more done.
So we'll be limited in the decisions we can make and tasks we can focus on within each time period. Which means we have to use our limited actions and Mora to earn even more Mora. Kinda like playing chess or cards then. Cooking up a strategy in advance is gonna be key. Paimon thinks she just
To drive
about gets
engagement
it.
with their game.
How do you feel about it, Traveler?
Well, I think they'd be able to drive up engagement with their game if they actually made a better game and listened more to their player base and actually got voice actors back again. I don't know. Again, the longer I've been playing Genshin, the more I feel like the game has fallen off. Again, I said it earlier and I'll say it again. At this point, I'm mainly playing Genshin out of obligation. As far as games like this are concerned, Tribe 9 is the far better alternative. Or I guess as Spinne keeps saying, the other Hoyoverse games are also better. Guess we'll learn on the job.
Yep. Come on, we can do this. You mentioned standardized strategy guides just now. Does that mean there are non-standard ways to take part too?
Of course. Film and entertainment mean different things to different people. And there's gonna be a wide range of exciting activities for people to try out. If we're not careful, some visitors might wander off and end up getting in trouble.
Oh yeah, but speaking of the superior gacha game that is Tribe 9...
And others might pick up dangerous props by mistake.
Something interesting happened in Tribe 9.
To avoid confusion,
And that
we need
is...
to create a standardized strategy guide for each activity.
That is that I had to sneeze.
Just
No,
think of it like a walkthrough.
I see you want me to be a test player.
Wow.
The thing that happened is the current event banner ended, and they don't have a new event banner taking its place. And thank you guys. So currently in Tribe 9 there is no event banner. There's only the standard banner and nothing else.
We'll just have to rely on our skills to carry us through.
Was not expecting that to happen. I thought for sure when the Hina banner ended, we would immediately get a new one. But nope.
It goes without saying
No
that
event
I've never
banner
put you
currently.
in danger, partner.
Very
I carefully
intriguing.
checked all the existing activities before you arrived, and I can assure you that they're all perfectly safe. I also wanted you to experience the activities before anyone else gets to. It'll be fun. Plus, we'd like to hear your thoughts and suggestions.
Oh, those are two things Navia is best at. Making people feel safe and having fun.
Great! Well, I can't wait to hear what you
Hi
think.
there.
Your input is super important to us.
I'm just gonna say Roy. Hello, newcomer.
All right then.
C2A
Let's
better or
start
Navia?
with eclectic escapades and put our first guide together.
I'm gonna say A just because Archon privileges. Just gonna say A because of Archon privileges, but in terms of gameplay, I am not entirely sure. Cycle 1. Go formulate a strategy. I guess we'll work on that first.
All right then. Time to try out eclectic escapades. I'll leave the strategy guide to you guys.
Ah, okay. Let's see. Swiftly weaving through narrow alleyways. Beset on all sides by danger. A popular trope in action films. One is faithfully brought to life by eclectic escapades. Experience the thrill of the chase and this high-paced attraction. Okay, it's an attraction. Unlock facility. And it's unlocked. Would you look at that? Do you know when Shenhe rerun? I wish I knew. How long has it been since Shenhe last appeared? Isn't Shenhe one of those characters that have only like had 1 or 2 reruns since their original run? I think so. Probably. Anyway. Go formulate. Need her. Wish I could tell you. Will rerun soon? Well, fingers crossed, I guess. Fingers crossed. Collect the required number of adventure coins and reach the destination. Beware of traps. Okay, so the usual stuff. Special skills can accelerate. Diving or gliding. That is also standard stuff. Also use them to dodge obstacles or break through terrain. Got it. So this is just like a standard mini game then. Pretty straightforward. But they do have some effects set up. There we go. Did it. So does that continue the event story?
Both of you seem even more excited than before. Looks like your first trial run didn't disappoint.
Yeah, the challenge format is super easy to get into, I guess.
I haven't actually watched that many films, but
It's
after
super
trying
easy
it
to
out,
play.
She might just be hooked. We should check out the film that it's based on.
Great job, Paimon. That's exactly what our enthusiast friends were hoping you'd say. They'd be beyond delighted to hear that visitors are curious about the films that inspired these attractions. Some have even been willing to contribute extra funds out of their own pockets. Where
I guess that's what they're going to be using the event for.
Out of
Financial
their own
stuff.
pockets.
That's right. While the Spina di Rosula covers the cost of basic booth materials and rental fees, many fans have personally funded promotional materials and related merchandise. The cost of the booth itself isn't their main expense. Some of them have already started designing spin-off products inspired by film characters. Take our official mascot, Surintendant Chevalmoran, for instance. She won second place in the last most popular character poll for
Only
the comic
second
film
place. Sucks
category,
to suck.
and was even dubbed the pinnacle of round, bouncy cuteness. Many people have expressed interest in designing cushions based on her image, using the highest quality fabrics and hiring the most skilled artisans to mass produce them. These cushions will officially go on sale at the next convention alongside
I wish you the
lots
best
of
of
similar
luck, Spinnet,
products.
in getting the characters you want. Now I think about it, I kind of want one too.
Sounds irresistible, right? Plus, as Surintendant Chevalmoran's guardian and official image rights agent, Farina will receive 60% of the sales revenue.
That
After
makes
all,
sense.
the fans are doing this voluntarily, not for profit, but to promote Surintendant Chevalmoran's adorable image. The more Mora ends up in Farina's purse, the better Surintendant Chevalmoran's meals will be. And who wouldn't be
How
happy to hear
often
that?
can you say that name?
Oh, Paimon likes the sound of that. Everyone working hard for something they all love without worrying about profit.
Still, we can't just ignore Mora completely. Whether it's fan creations or official commercial projects, some level of financial balance is still necessary. The same logic applies to the Chevalmoran film Fantasyland taken as a whole. Once we finish the standardized strategy guides, our attractions can officially be open to the public.
Alright.
But we can't take personal charge of the ticketing process. There's plenty of work to do at the various booths, and the park itself is a work in progress. We'll need to assign dedicated employees to maintain and manage each
Yes,
attraction.
Navia, you can do
There's a
that while I'm
recruitment
gonna
section
go
on
and
the
catch
park's
up with
bulletin
Kinich
board.
again.
We've received many applications, and each candidate
After all,
has
he is
their
kind of
strengths.
waiting for me.
Our job is to match the best candidates to each attraction based on their overall performance. Once assigned, the staff will keep the attractions running, ensuring a continuous revenue stream.
Wait, so we've suddenly gone from being playtesters to heads of human resources?
Oh
That's
no.
definitely a first for us.
I'll make an awesome boss.
Just don't hold everyone up to your own standards, okay? You can't expect everyone else to be as capable as you.
Yes, I can. I will
Alright,
tell
time
people
to
right
review
now
some
to fight gods and
resumes.
dragons.
Fingers crossed we'll get some exceptional candidates.
Go hire employees. I could do that, but however, I think I should prioritize Kinich for the time being. Because with Kinich, it seems like more of a straightforward story. So let's go and deal with the straightforward stuff. Oh, hello.
Oh, man.
You two are here too, it seems.
Bro!
Are you mimicking me? Now's not the time. Come on.
No.
Everyone's
I mean,
here.
One of our buddies is here, for real. Quite a few of them, actually.
For real!
Aurora and Aoife!
Everyone from Natlan is coming
Huh?
to Fontaine.
How come you're... Ah, I'm guessing Kinich is here because of that international smuggling case, right? I've heard quite a bit about that.
Word sure gets around quickly, huh?
It feels so weird seeing all these Natlan
First
characters
time
over
abroad
here
and
in
you're already
Fontaine
making
now.
headlines.
Oh, stop it. It's not like I
Where's
was the
Granny?
center of attention.
Where's Granny Eatsley?
Wasn't expecting to see the Traveler and Paimon here too, though.
Come on, Aoife.
Huh?
A traveler, by definition, is someone who travels around.
Fair point. Anyway, back on topic. Wait a second. I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about again?
Smuggling.
Why, we're here, of course.
For vegetables.
Kakuku. Huh?
I'll go first. It's for
Oh,
the
okay, then.
Chevrolamine Film Fantasyland. Wait, is that right?
It's Cheval Moran.
Ah, right. I keep stumbling over that one.
Can't blame you.
Guess I owe Cheval Moran an apology, even if she's not here.
It's okay.
Anyway,
I'm not even gonna
long
attempt to
story
say
short,
the name.
festival restaurant urgently needed
Because I
fresh
don't care
vegetables
enough.
from Natlan, which is why Aoife and I are here.
So, you guys are vegetable couriers?
He is. I'm just here as a responsible adult. It's his first time traveling so far away from home, and all the elders in his tribe were worried. So they had me come along.
Even though
Okay,
it's
then.
your first time too.
Right. But they still picked me to accompany you. You gotta wonder why that might be.
Don't you get it? They all just saw how overworked you were, so they used it as an excuse to send you off on a vacation.
Yeah, I'm sure
Wait,
that's
what?
it.
So I'm getting the grandson treatment now too? See? Doesn't matter how much older you are than this dude. Hang out with him long enough, and you'll eventually find yourself being treated like a kid.
Meaning everyone looks after you. What's so bad about that?
In theory, nothing at all.
Well,
In
then
that
why
case,
complain, I guess.
I better start over. Hi guys, my name's Aoife, and I just turned 5.
Nice to meet you, little bro.
Paimon's not sure who the responsible adult is anymore. So, what about Kakuku? If he was here, we'd be making more of a ruckus than we already are.
That's exactly what's got me worried.
Aoife, there's nothing to worry about. You're a big boy. You can handle yourself now even without Kakuku.
Damn.
You think that's what I'm worried about?
What else?
Anyway, my priority right now is Kakuku. Suffice it to say, Kakuku's in big doo-doo.
How so? He's
Kakuku's
so
in big
small,
doo-doo.
and
Well,
all he
that
knows
sounds
are a few
nice.
harmless phrases. What kind of trouble could he even get himself into?
Let me guess. Did he get caught out by the law on flying objects?
Bro, you too?
Not me. How?
Oh, that pesky little chatterbox. So that's why he hasn't interrupted us this whole time. Guess he's too scared to show his face.
And
That
rightfully so.
Plus, he's already spouted enough nonsense for one day. So I've put him on mute until tomorrow.
Nice one. If I was even half as decisive as you are, I would have kept a closer hold on Kakuku so he didn't get a chance to go flying off.
I guess that's what flying objects do.
Oh no, bro. Or rather, did Kakuku get caught by the guards for flying
Oh no,
around?
Paimon's getting infected.
If they had managed that, we'd at least be able to track him down. But when the guards started chasing him, Kakuku flew into that building next door. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a high-stakes pursuit going down in there as we speak. Just like one of those cool crime movies.
Which building? That one?
Yup, that's the
Oh
one.
no.
Kakuku sure has a good eye for a getaway. It's the tallest building around. I may be able to fly up pretty high, but checking every last window would still take quite a while. As for Aoife, well, let's just say he's not flying anywhere without a Saurian. Sorry about that.
Not like it's my fault, though.
So I guess we gotta help
You don't have
then,
to
huh?
apologize on my behalf.
Wait a sec. What's this got to do with how high you can fly? Kakuku's got himself into a real mess here. Like a panicked animal running straight into a trap. It's pretty worrying. I'm starting to picture him flapping through a barrage of gunfire while important documents are flying about left, right, and center.
Heck yeah! If anyone can pull it off, it's Kakuku.
I don't think we should
He's
be
always
cheering
been
that
such
kind of
an
behavior
awesome
on.
Saurus. I believe in him.
In other words, right now, in this building, there could be not one awesome Saurus, but two.
For real now? Do you even hear yourself, bro?
Of course I'm for real. I'd never make light
For
of
real,
something
for
like
real.
that.
All right. Everyone's an awesome Saurus. Well, the human version. But our priority right now should be to go in there and check up on Kakuku.
As it happens, Kenichi and I were just heading over to the Palais Memoria for something else.
Leave it to us.
You sure? Wow, awesome. That'll be a huge help.
And if Kakuku doesn't listen to you, I give you permission to pull out a couple of his feathers.
Wait, since when was that up to you?
Well, then it's your call, bro.
All right then, if Kakuku doesn't listen to you, I also give you permission to pull out a couple of his feathers.
How
There
kind.
you go. If he objects to that, tell him to come find
Thank
us.
you for giving me permission to commit animal abuse.
He won't. Trust me.
Now let's find that stupid little bird. Kakuku, reveal yourself! Where are you hiding? Over here? No? Alright, gotta go the long way around.
Nothing new there? What's all that commotion? Are they arguing in there?
I like how someone else's dialogue was just cut off immediately. Strange sounds coming from Mr. Uvilet's office. Do you think we should go? And that line just went by way too quickly. It's the dudes!
No way, bro!
Also, what are you doing out of prison again?
Did he say he came from Natlan? No.
Get out of here!
I can understand his words, just not what they mean.
Oh no.
Oh boy. For real now!
He keeps repeating the same things over and over again. Oh, you know one another.
He's a bro. He's a bro of a bro.
He's a friend. Yeah, a saurian friend of a human friend.
Great. Well, that was easy. Looks like we've tracked down the owner. Guess that's one less lost and found notice for you to write, Monsieur Neuvillette.
For real?
For real.
Traveler, was there something important you wanted to discuss with the Udex?
Oh, I'm just glad you both are voice actors.
I'm just about done with my business here. Need me to step out?
Stay and hear them out first. Perhaps it will have some bearing on your own work. If I'm not mistaken, you are the same Mr. Kenichi who served as a witness in the smuggling trial?
That's
I
him.
take it there's been a further development in the case.
That's right. Very perceptive, Mr. Udex.
So you've met Neuvillette before? But wasn't the trial overseen by another judge?
I've seen his photo in the papers. But as for this other gentleman...
Oh, you don't need to worry about him.
Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Wriothesley, administrator of the Fortress of Meripede. Or in layman's terms, Fontaine's prison warden. Please, feel free to share anything about the case. There's no need to keep anything from him.
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Wow, that sounded just like me.
That's what you think you sound like?
But should we really discuss official business in front of the Saurian?
Oh, wow. Oh, no.
I believe he said, or rather, I suppose he meant, that he'll keep this to himself. Though I should mention, Mr. Kukuku, that we will have to ask you to sign a confidentiality agreement.
Sure thing, bro.
It's all a bit strange, but they really are a great pair of awesome Sauri.
Let us return to the matter at hand. Mr. Kanich, was there something else you wanted to discuss
I like that
relating to
Nuvalet
the
can
case?
communicate. He's a dragon after
Yes.
all.
Let me fill you in.
And the Saurians are after all dragon descendants in a way. Kanich tells Nuvalet and Wriothesley about Lepine Pauline finding the gun. Nuvalet makes inquiries with the relevant personnel, and sure enough, they locate the box and the gun that Lepine Pauline spoke of.
Wow. It really is exactly like Lepine Pauline's sketch. That must be all that practice drawing engineering blueprints, huh?
So if it's true that this weapon came into Fontaine alongside the contraband from the smuggling case, then there's a high chance we overlooked a suspect.
That's exactly my line of thought.
I see. Mr. Kanich, thank you for reporting this promptly. I'll arrange for the Marechaussee Phantom to investigate right away.
Okay.
We should begin by questioning the prisoners in custody. Wriothesley.
I'll sign off on the interrogation request. Don't you worry.
That would be much appreciated.
It's lucky that the Palais Mermonia wasn't scheduled to release any public bulletins today, and that this gun's lost and found notice hasn't been written up yet. In other words, the news hasn't leaked.
Well, that's
I'll be
good.
staying
Then
in
you can
Fontaine for the
surprise
time
them.
being. If there's any progress in the investigation or you need my help,
Can someone stand
feel free to
guard
reach out anytime.
in the location the box was found? Just in case someone's gonna come to try to pick it up? Anyway, that goes for me too.
We were just about to go help out with Lepine Pauline's convention. If there's any news, we'll keep you all posted.
Marvelous. Thank you all. Well then, all that's left is to...
Yeah, how do you sign?
You miss me, bro?
He really does come out with the most unexpected things. Who did he learn it all from?
A couple of top bros from Natlan.
Huh. Well, it's pretty extraordinary.
Anyway, according to due process, we must first determine whether Mr. Kukuku qualifies as a flying object. And, following on from our conversation just now, he also needs to sign a confidentiality agreement. Drafting said agreement may take some time.
Looks like you'll be staying with us for a while then, Kukuku. Excited?
I guess that's a yes. I can help pass a message on to his friends.
That would save us a lot of trouble. Many thanks.
Don't mention it.
all right then, we'd better get going. No need to see us off.
Alright. Let's tell them. Alright, good news. You're not getting Kukuku arrested yet. Hooray. I guess.
Aurora and Aoife, we found Kukuku!
What's the situation? How bad is it?
Not that bad. There's some good news and some bad news.
Oh no. When I saw that Kukuku wasn't with you, I'd already prepared myself for the worst.
Relax, Aoife. Maybe Kukuku just prefers high-rise living now. Sometimes
Perhaps.
you just have to let the kids grow up and make their own choices in life.
That's totally what's happening here.
For real now?
Yes, for real.
Do you even hear yourself, bro?
It's not that bad. Kukuku's fine. Still very much alive and kicking for starters.
He hasn't been arrested either, so no jail time.
Even had an interesting chat with some veritable VIPs.
See?
You're not exactly reassuring me here.
As for the bad news, well, it's really not that bad. Kukuku accidentally overheard some top secret stuff, so he has to stay at the Palais Mermonia for a while to sign a confidentiality agreement.
So it's gonna take a while to draft
There's
up.
no need to worry. The person in charge of looking after Kukuku is super nice, so he'll be absolutely fine.
You'll just have to wait a bit longer.
All right. That doesn't sound too bad after all. Wow, hearing that's put my mind to rest.
But based on my understanding of how things work here, the ban on flying objects should be over by the time Kakuku actually gets out.
Well, in that case,
What a shame.
everything's fine.
Oh well, I guess we'll just have to go have some fun without him.
You don't look disappointed in the slightest.
Anyway, Auroron and I will be staying in guest rooms upstairs at the Hotel de Boer for the time being. Feel free to drop by if you need us.
All right, bro.
Yay, problem solved! Alright, let's catch up another day.
Act 1 complete. Not a flying object? Well, Paimon was He's a... No, but see... Spinne, your reasoning makes sense, except for the fact that Paimon was also qualified as a flying object. So there is that. You know what? I'll actually focus on this part of the quest for now. So that means we will do the time skip. Did it say the next day? Or 2 days later? The day after tomorrow. And it had... Okay, so 2 days. I do not like it all. Do not like. Nothing to like about this.
It's been a few days.
Whoa!
The project should be over by now.
Yay!
Let's head over to the Palais Mermonia to see how Kukuku's doing.
How is it going? Thanks for the raid. Did you find the judgment yet? And I appreciate the lurk. Appreciate the lurk. Don't worry about it. Totally understand you wanting to avoid spoilers. Hope you found the judgment, and if not, I hope you will find it soon. But yeah, everyone, Gabe, awesome person, by the way. If you want another person who also streams Genshin along some other games, then, you know, give Gabe like a little visit. Maybe even a follow. Absolute wonderful person. But yeah, thank you so much for the raid, and I totally understand you wanting to lurk so to not spoil yourself. Alright, here we go. Hi there, hello.
Hey everyone, we're here! Oh hey, my little dudes! Good morning!
Good morning, little dude.
Oh wow, Kukuku's learned a new greeting! Is that good news or bad news though?
Sorry, I did everything within my power. But so far, I've only managed to teach him how to say good morning.
Wait,
Well,
so
that's progress.
That's all you've been up to this whole time? Get out of here!
I think that means no.
Huh?
Imagine
Okay,
talking
so,
more.
Good mornings aside, please tell Paimon there's been some other progress too.
Of course. That's why I'm here. Kukuku's not the only one that Mr. Ridesley's been getting to talk. I'm referring,
Oh.
of course, to the convicts.
What intel
It
did
was
you
nothing.
get?
These guys weren't exactly tough nuts to crack.
So, what's the deal?
After racking their brains, they remembered speaking to an inconspicuous middle-aged man just as they were preparing to pack up and leave Natlan. He was dressed in the manner of the Children of Echoes and carrying a box. Plus, the description matches the one the gun was found in. All in all, he didn't look any different from your average Natlanese traveler. Perhaps seeing
Okay.
that they were dressed as merchants, this man stopped for a chat, inquiring where their goods were headed, and even asking if they could share a boat. The smugglers were very cautious, though. They didn't tell him any specifics, but all this happened before I crossed paths with them. I happened to notice them as they were preparing to set sail. I thought they looked shady, so I snuck aboard, and ended up being carried along all the way to Fontaine.
I see, and that's how you got here. Truly. Alright, Act 2. Let's see it. Oh god, why are you in the loading screen or how? Get out of here. Get out!
Boss, do we know if
Flashback,
those Fontainians
okay.
will even like this stuff? What if we can't shift it?
And apparently Kenichi is the only
That's
person
why we call you a rookie.
who is not black and white.
It's all supply and demand, kid. Supply and demand. Natlan's foreign trade is just starting to lift off. There'll be a market for it, you'll see.
That's right. So stop giving the boss trouble, rookie. Just do your job and keep an eye on the goods.
Are they merchants? Have they come to Fontaine to do business? Scarred face. Calloused hands. On closer inspection, the fabric looks worn at the knees and elbows, and his fingernails are dirty. Not exactly your typical merchant. Could he have previously been a warrior? Or even an adventurer? Something feels off. I'd better sneak up and get a closer look.
And I get to play the flashback, it seems.
Nice thinking, boss. This tourist tub's been fast going and smooth sailing. Plus, no one's been asking us what we're up to.
That goes without saying. Big cargo ship would have been too slow, whereas the smaller ones would have been faster but way too bumpy. If we ended up damaging the goods by accident, all these months spent grafting away would have gone up in smoke.
Seriously? But there's hardly anything here. Would it really have taken them months to prepare? And why would they need to transport it with such care? Could they be secretly smuggling precious items out of Natlan?
Why, yes.
I need to find a way to get to the bottom of this.
They were smuggling stuff. Don't mind me, just gonna investigate
Let's go hear
right
what
next
these
to
criminals have to say for themselves. Sure enough, there are relics inside the box. It's illegal to smuggle such items outside Natlan.
I like how the text and dialogue were switched there. Like the second text was the first spoken dialogue, which was certainly something. Hello? Am I not in the correct position?
Hey, why
Oh,
the long face?
just had to get closer.
You're abroad on
Okay,
business,
then.
and you get to do some sightseeing while you're at it. Sounds like a pretty sweet deal to me. You better cheer up if you know what's good for you.
I guess you're right. I was just worried I might have messed up with the packing, or that something's gonna go wrong along the way.
Oh, pull yourself together. Tons of foreign tourists come traveling to Fontaine. I bet their luggage is full of all kinds of weird stuff.
But not as weird as
If
your
someone
stuff, it
insists
seems.
on checking it all, just show them the purchase order we had drawn up. Those Fontainians can't get enough of their legalese, so I've heard. They can look all they want.
Aha. So their aim is to smuggle in contraband after all. Looks like I've gathered enough intel about the smugglers and their contraband. Time to inform port security.
And then afterwards, you were pulled in as a witness.
So anyway, that was when I went and told the Fontainian guards about my suspicions. After an investigation and a chase, they finally apprehended them and
another
sent them
bot?
on their way.
Lovely.
Well, guess they're headed exactly where they should be.
Good job, Kenichi.
Thanks.
Honestly, though, why do I keep playing Genshin when A, again, I've played out of obligation, but A, My enjoyment for the game keeps decreasing over time, except it still has some highlights, but still. Generally, it is the least liked game on my channel by viewers. And, third factor, Genshin brings in the bots. Like, whenever I'm doing a Genshin stream, there's a 50-50 chance, essentially, of a bot joining my Discord. Like, this is just ridiculous.
Based on your recollections just now.
I was completely focused on those smugglers at the time, so I wasn't really paying attention to other passersby.
That's only natural, don't worry about it.
Yeah, Kanish, you did great!
In other words, the person who brought the gun here, the one who lost it, has no connection to the smugglers whatsoever. They were working entirely on their own.
Oh dear, oh dear!
Sounds like Mr. Kakuku wants to chime in?
He said this elusive individual's actions are positively mystifying.
It's a good observation. I quite agree.
You are starting to
However,
understand
we
him quite
still
well.
know next to nothing about the person. Perhaps we should start by focusing on the lost item itself.
A lost object that was picked up. Interpret. A genuine treasure lost by the roadside, yet still it remains unreported and unclaimed. Doesn't seem like an accident. No, it's as if someone left it there on purpose. From ancient things. There's a relic left behind by Natlan's ancient dragon civilization. It's a genuine antique, so it must be of great value. Why would someone just leave such a valuable antique out in the middle of nowhere? Was the plan for someone to come pick it up? I mean, one would assume.
It certainly seems like it was the bait in some kind of trap. The only question is, why wasn't the bait made more conspicuous?
Has something sprung to mind?
I just remembered a film I watched this one time.
Huh? Oh wow, no way, bro!
Yeah, remember watching
Hold
a
on,
film?
let me explain.
No way.
Just now, the traveler speculated that this box might have been placed there on purpose, as if the intention was for someone to come pick it up. That got me thinking about those films about kidnapping cases. When they demand their ransom, the kidnappers tell the victim's family to leave money or valuables at a designated spot for someone to come pick up.
That doesn't merely happen in films. There have been similar cases in real life. In fact, if anything, it's probably the real-life events that inspired the films.
Sounds plausible.
Ooh. Wait. This raises the stakes to a whole new level. If the gun really was some kind of ransom, then since we took the box, the kidnappers never got their payment, so...
Well, that's a problem.
Executed the hostage?
I still feel like someone should have stayed at the scene in case someone tried to claim it. We haven't heard of any missing people.
I agree. I don't believe we have a kidnapping on our hands. Selling off stolen goods is extra work that most kidnappers would want to avoid. Unless they're after something very specific, they tend to just ask for cash. Could we be dealing with a kidnapper who's dead set on getting their hands on an ancient dragon handgun? It's not impossible, but the likelihood is very slim. We can discount that possibility for now. And speaking of selling stolen goods, don't you think this looks more like a transaction?
About the seller. The gun was placed in a lockbox and hidden away. Clearly the seller wanted to keep their identity a secret. About the buyer. After receiving the instructions, the buyer would have gone to the designated spot with the money to pick up the goods. To ensure they actually got paid, the seller would likely have been watching the buyer. About the goods. Before the buyer could show up, Lapine Pauline found the goods by chance while setting up the event venue. About the incomplete transaction. Due to the unexpected arrival of the film Fantasyland, the deal had to be called off.
So, bottom line, this was an individual smuggler at work.
Exactly. And it was the location itself that caused the deal to fall through. The last thing they would have expected was for a quiet beach to turn into a bustling film convention overnight. Not only is the area now packed with tourists, but the Spina di Rasula have a presence there.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to
both
sneak through
parties
them,
were
I
completely
guess.
caught off guard.
Great job, Lapine Pauline.
That sounds like a plausible theory, but how do we verify it?
Looks like your people better start rolling up their sleeves.
How so?
Easy. Just follow the usual procedure by putting up a lost and found notice. The more routine we make it seem, the more likely the suspect will come forward to claim it. Even if they send a proxy, we're liable to get our hands on new leads. And timing-wise, it's about time we updated the bulletin board anyway. All we need now is a lucky gestionnaire to write up the notice for us post-haste.
Ah, so that's what you meant by rolling up their sleeves. In that case, I may as well write it myself.
Oh.
Delegating this to someone else would require an additional explanation.
Or are you just not used to asking others to work overtime?
Is that really a major concern here?
Well, looks like I won't be needed around here. At least until the notice has been posted.
You could always wait here if you like. The Palais Mermonia serves a particularly fine cup of tea if that swings it for you.
Thanks, but no thanks.
I think he's busy
I left
with
a
other
very
stuff.
noisy creature with a friend before heading out. So I should probably get back to feed it.
I feel like you should kill that
aware that
noisy
you had a
creature
pet,
if you at
Mr.
all
Kniech.
can.
Speaking of pets... Yep, that's the plan. Out of here indeed.
I believe that what Wriothesley is trying to say is, you are free to leave, Mr. Kukuku. Furthermore, it has been determined that Mr. Kukuku should not, in fact, be classified as a flying object.
Hooray!
As such, he shall be free to move around Fontaine whenever he so pleases.
You're the best, bro.
Kakuku is not a flying object, but Paimon is a flying object.
Aoife and Auroron?
All is right. After
I shall
all, an
leave him in your
emergency
capable
food would
hands.
be considered an object, so it makes sense. Anyway, let's keep in touch.
Indeed.
Alright, go find the two. Apparently they're out here. Let's see what they're up to. The Doom Killer of Night. Hello, hi. New person I see. How are you? Welcome to the stream. What's up? Nothing
Ow.
much. Nothing much. Just playing the current event
What now?
for Genshin.
Let's shake hands.
Fine by me. Get ready for a knuckle sandwich.
And having to deal with a how again. Not like I like dealing with a how, but I guess
nice
we have
dodge.
to.
Paimon feels strangely inclined to keep a safe distance. Did you miss me, bro?
Kukuku, you're free!
Ugh, not you again. Nope, didn't miss you in the slightest.
Hey, Gramps.
Alright, we're reuniting the team.
And hey, Paimon and Kniech. It's good to see you all. Thanks for bringing Kukuku back.
Get it away! Get it away from me! Nice to meet you,
I still don't know why this event is so,
bro.
just
Say that
for
again
such a
to my
short time
face.
frame.
I dare you.
Again, normally this feels like the kind of event with all the
If you've got the
dialogue and
energy
everything
to
that's going
argue
on.
this much,
It definitely
you're
feels like the
clearly
kind of
not
event that
hungry
would
yet.
stick around for a month.
let's go
But
find
nope,
something
for some
to eat
reason this event
while
is
a
only
howl
around for
lives
2
his
weeks.
Best life.
Seems way too short to me, but okay. Sounds good to me. You to
Poor
Genshin
Hal.
even?
He spent all day being tormented by Auroron, only to discover
Fair
that
enough.
the
I guess
suffering's
there are
just
still
begun.
people getting into Genshin at this point.
Aoife, as a Saurian vet, how
To
can
me,
you
it
just
feels
sit
like
back
most
and
of the
watch our
Genshin
little
players that
dragon
are
bro
still around
suffer?
would be long-term players
Huh?
at this point.
How am I the bad guy?
Interesting to know that there are still people joining.
Even hear yourself? Ah! Doesn't anyone want to hear how Kakuku got out of jail?
Amidst the racket, you briefly explain what happened with Kakuku to Aoife and Auroron. Hearing that Kakuku now has permission to move around freely, Ahao's face goes even redder than before.
Don't lose hope, Ahao. By the same standard, you have freedom of movement now too. You're still in the game?
Same standard? I will not be held to the same standard as that
But yeah,
thing.
personally, as far as I'm concerned, there are certainly better gacha games out there than, you know, Genshin. Tribe 9 comes to mind.
That's right. You won't. As far as I understand, the Palais Mermonia will want
But
to
I guess
assess your
Genshin is
case on
still
its
a pretty
own
big and
merits
popular
before they
game.
grant you freedom of movement.
Even amidst all the problems that it currently has.
Where's that Saurian meat restaurant again? I'm gonna march that little pink
I'm
balloon
honestly
right
just
into
glad
the
that more and
kitchen.
more voice actors are finally returning.
Yeah, good luck with that, bro. You'll be putting your own neck on the line, too.
Also,
In
there's
all
no
honesty,
such restaurant.
I think so far in this event, there was only
Anyway,
one major
thanks for
character.
looking
There
after
was only
Ahao,
one
guys.
character
I'll take
who
over from
wasn't
here.
voice acted, right? Well, 2 technically, because again in the Parlay Memoria there was that one character we passed by. There was one character we passed by with optional dialogue, and that one wasn't voice acted either. But as far as the main, like, story discussions of this event are concerned, only one person was missing their voice so far. So you know what? I'm happy with this event as it stands. One Kakuku delivered as promised.
Between the two, Kakuku wins the cuteness competition hands down.
Alright, I have to say this because Spinne is a Paimon fan. Well, Paimon wins my cuteness competition.
Ah, really? Thanks! Wait, who are the other contestants, though?
You win by default, there was no one else. I like the game in general. Fair, fair. I mean, it does have some good stuff to it. Like, again, it's a good open world that it's, like, good for exploration, right? There's so much you can explore and do in this game. So that already is a plus. I gotta admit. But yeah. We'll see how it continues. Farina, I mean, I do have her. She is a good character to have. Definitely. Absolutely. Amazing character. Now I'm gonna say Zhongli the best. But Farina is also amazing. Farina is also absolutely amazing. But I'm just a big ol' Zhongli simp. But I do love Farina.
The lost and found notice is up! Maybe we should go hang around the Palais Mermonia to see if anyone shows up to claim it.
That is what we shall do now. I mean, it's fair, Farina is a good character. She can provide good additional damage, she can heal. Like, she can provide additional damage without even having to be on the field. She can heal your team. She can make you walk on water. Like, she can walk on water indefinitely. That alone makes her absolutely powerful and amazing. And yes, that is also good reasoning that you're providing there, Doom. Absolutely another good reason. Alright, we're here.
Huh, looks like there were quite a few others with the same idea.
Ah, hello, you two.
Have there been any developments? Okay, guess not. Well, the notice was only just posted. Guess it's pretty unlikely that someone
I'm
would
still
show
a
up
little
right
bit intrigued by the fact that
Open up.
we're in Fontaine again, and we so far have not seen Farina at all.
Special patrol?
I don't think that's who this is.
Can't believe we haven't seen Farina at all in this event yet. Please, anything but the special patrol.
Hey, this isn't the time for silly jokes.
Hardest character in
Let's go
your
check it out.
opinion? Good question. Does wrongly count? A guard from the Palais Memoria carefully opens the door. A familiar figure
Good
walks
day,
in.
all. Gramps, grannies, aunts and uncles.
What in the Teyvat are you doing here, Auroran?
Oh, he must be the one you mentioned. Kakuku's owner?
One of his owners. Kind of. But, bro, what are you doing here?
I'm here to claim a lost
Gotta go.
item.
Have a good rest of your stream. I plan to. See you around Dormuse. Have a good one. Can't tell if he's being deadpan or deadly serious.
Is this the person you saw on the boat, Mr. Kinich?
Somehow I highly doubt that. For starters, he just addressed us as Gramps and Grannies. And unless this is the youngest looking middle-aged man in the world, I don't think he's our guy.
I apologize for my grandson bursting in like this.
Huh. Was there something wrong with my door knocking etiquette?
Which I had for Rena. She will be available in the
do it in all
future
the
again, I'm
films.
sure. Just gotta be patient. You just gotta be patient and save up Primo Gems.
That's door-knocking etiquette. That's the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol doing their job. Completely different things.
Oh, I see. I figured it was just a polite way of requesting entry to show the people inside you had something important to discuss. Oh,
Auroron
sorry
being a
about that. I
Mororon, as
totally
per
goofed that one up.
usual.
Give me a moment. I'll go back out and try again.
No need. Also, hi, Bones.
So, Auroron,
hello.
you said you were here
Happy
to claim
see
a lost
you.
item.
Hope you're well.
What did you lose?
Yeah, so basically,
Auroron carefully describes the lost item he's come to claim from the start of the box and the gun itself. Everything matches.
For real now? Oh, come on, bro.
Is arresting my dear grandson what it's come to?
Auroron, be honest now. Were you the one who lost this?
no, it belongs to a friend.
So it belongs to Aoife?
Of course not. Aoife has his own gun.
Auroron, tell us the truth.
All right then.
Yes,
this
the
wouldn't go
announcement of
well.
the subathon. I was very generous with the rewards. Again, the most gift subs I've ever gotten at any one given time was 10. So I think by preparing for up to, what was it, 42, I think, I've covered all the bases I could possibly need to cover. I think that's more than plenty in terms of goals.
So here's what went down. This
But
morning,
we'll
Eve and
see
I
how
were
it goes.
playing
We'll
rock,
see how it
paper,
goes.
scissors.
Again, it's my
Before
first time
long, he
ever doing a
lost,
subathon.
as he usually does. So we figured we'd
I have
head
no
out
prior
and
experience
visit
with
some of
that.
the court of Fontaine's famous landmarks. When we got near the plaza, a man suddenly stopped us to ask for help. He said that he had lost something and that someone had found it and sent it
So
over
you
to
think?
the Palais Mermonia.
Oh no. I should probably prepare something for, I did say it kind of that I would think of stuff to do if we somehow, by some miracle, end up getting more. Maybe I should do it like a thing that once that point has been reached for every so and so many subs, I will extend for... I guess I should figure out the exact details. Maybe I could just keep up the trend as it is, right? No game specified, but keep the trend going as it is. Like, you can definitely tell the pattern. Like, if you look at it. Okay, 1 sub half an hour, another sub half an hour, and then it's 2 subs for another half an hour, 2 for half an hour, then 3. And I'll just keep that trend going beyond what is planned, should we extend further. Which I don't think will happen. I've already talked to Spinner a little bit about it. I think if we extend further than originally planned... Also, Doom, thank you so much for the follow. I'll answer your question in a second. If we somehow do extend further than originally planned... I'll take chat suggestions as to what to play. Most likely. Anyway, if I have plans for helping fans... Like helping out in the game in terms of advice or stuff? Or like co-op stuff? Like, I can certainly help people fight bosses occasionally, if that's what it takes. Like, if you need to grind a certain boss and you have trouble, I guess I don't mind helping people out every now and then. In co-op mode. It just has to align with when I have free time. Not sure if I'll
But apparently
I
he
won't
used to work here and
I won't
was
be doing
worried
that
it'd
kind
be
of stuff on
awkward
stream.
bumping into his old coworkers.
But hey.
So he asked us to pretend to be the owners and claim it on his behalf.
But hey, everyone's always welcome to
You didn't
add me.
manage to keep that
My
pretense
UID
up
is
for
public.
long.
Everyone can take my UID. Add me as a... Like, I accept all friend requests.
It's fine.
And if
I'm
someone
not
has
the one
some
who feels awkward
problems
anyway.
that they want to deal with, like they need help with a boss in co-op mode,
So, a
then
former employee of the Palais
I can help,
Mermonia.
I'm sure.
Was this individual a Fontaine native?
Yes, at least I assume so. He looked like a well-dressed gentleman to me. We were about to refuse, but he was so polite.
Could it
How
have
do
been
I
a
ask?
disguise?
I guess I'll explain that in a second.
Oh, no.
I can't exactly pause during dialogue.
Paimon thinks you've been tricked. This person might be in cahoots with the bad guys. Oh, maybe he already took off and escaped as soon as your mission went pear-shaped.
No way. I'm not that dumb.
Huh?
He's not going anywhere. Aoife and Kakuku are keeping an eye on him over at the plaza.
Well, that's
Keeping
good.
an eye on him. I like the sound of that.
Nicely done, bro.
In that case, let's hurry over to where Aoife is. Time to catch that con man and find out what's really going on here.
Wait a minute, I have a question first.
That being?
Traveler, Paimon, you're pretty famous in Natlan, right?
Oh,
We're pretty famous
basically
everywhere.
household names. But why do you ask?
Well, it's not just us.
Would that be a problem?
Remember when I said that the seller might be watching in secret?
If so, then picking Auroron to do their dirty work was a careless mistake on their part.
It suggests that the person who got Auroron to claim the item might not be fully in the know themselves. There are plenty of unanswered questions, but standing around racking our brains won't help. However, I still suggest that the famous faces among us, meaning the Traveler and Kinich, oh, and of course, Monsieur Nivelette too, stay here for
Really?
the time being.
Novelette being famous.
We'll empty the box,
Wouldn't
give
have
it to
expected
Auroron,
that.
and then he can claim the item as if nothing happened. I'll follow to check if anyone is watching. I doubt anyone would recognize me anyway, so I shouldn't draw too much attention.
Being low-key has its advantages.
I think this plan is worth a try. I shall leave it to the pair of you.
So, I have to go undercover again, right?
Well, not exactly undercover. Just drop the special patrol persona and be yourself instead.
Roger that. Over and out.
Well, that's working well. Anyway, to friend someone in Genshin, to add someone. If the game gives me the chance and we're not thrown into more dialogue immediately. Oh no, we are.
No sign of any suspicious individuals around here.
But I think I might be able to... Yes. So what you can do is you just check friends. And then you add someone. You just go into friends and then you can add someone based on their UID. Which is here. I'll even do the favor and do the thing, the generous deed of copy pasting it in chat. So it's easy and you don't have to type it out. That way it's easy to copy paste and not having to type it out manually. I'm gonna take the shortcut. Who needs an elevator when you can just glide all over the place? This is so much quicker than taking an elevator. Alright, let's see.
Nothing suspicious going on here either. Strange. Maybe we're overthinking this?
Okay.
Stop with the pecking! Stop with the pecking! Please, sir, I'm begging you, do me a favor and get this pet of yours under control!
The heck are you on about?
I feel like Kakuku might be the strongest character in Genshin. Maybe, perhaps. Kakuku versus all Archons, who would win?
Sorry, but he's not my pet. He's my coworker.
I feel like Kakuku would win
And I should
easily.
warn you, he's not
Kakuku
too happy
solos
with how you're talking
everyone.
about him.
What the? This thing has a job? So in Natlan, they just dish out jobs to any old thing.
True, yes.
Uh-oh. Kakuku's not too big on being called a thing either. You're on your own now.
I'm sorry. Please, Mr. Kukuku. Master Kukuku. Lord Kukuku. I meant no offense, I promise.
All right, Kakuku. That'll do for now. Let me ask him some questions first.
Sure thing, bro.
Auroron actually looks pretty serious this time. Was he just pretending to be clueless earlier? Interesting. Think I'll sit back and see how this plays out.
You actually got it? Wow, didn't think it would be that easy.
It was just that
excellent. Looks like sending you was the right approach after all.
After all?
I mean, because the staff at the Palais Mermonia don't recognize you, right?
So I got it, but I don't remember promising I'd hand it over.
Huh?
This thing
Well-
is pretty cool. I've taken a bit of a liking to it.
Well, you just gotta keep it now.
Please don't do this, my good sir, my master, my lord. My very life hangs in the balance.
His life hangs in the balance?
If this means so much to you, what are you gonna offer me in return?
Are you trying to get him to say my life?
Yes, he is.
How'd you know that?
Yeah, he actually is. Okay,
Because
sure.
I watched that film with you. You should drop the act. We don't want a real misunderstanding in our hands.
You're probably right. But honestly, I don't know what else to say. Sorry, this is the most myself I can be. Is that enough?
Enough. More than enough.
Well, time for you to be arrested.
Who's this dude?
Just think of me as a staff member from the Palais Mermonia. Now, if you don't mind, I have some questions for this gentleman about that life or death treasure you were just discussing. Truthful answers appreciated, of course.
Oh no, I'm toast now.
What's that supposed to mean? You don't think the Palais Mermonia has the ability to protect our citizens?
No, I mean, yes, of course they do. Please ask away.
I could do that. But I'd rather you just tell the whole story, from the beginning.
I suppose I only have myself to blame. Such a rare antique, I couldn't resist.
Really? You only want it as an
I'm
antique,
a
even though it's a
collector of
weapon?
antiques. Nothing excites me more than rare, old relics, and to be completely honest, if someone's selling, I'm buying. I don't care to ask where they sourced their goods.
Is that really it?
As for the seller of this particular item, well, I've never met him in person. We've had some prior dealings, but always under the cover of coded ads in some shady tabloids. Lost and found notices, missing person ads, that sort of thing. As long as I took care to hide a time and place somewhere within the text, then slipped some mora into the envelope before submitting the ad, it would get published. And that was that. No fuss, no trace. Simple, right? Normally, everything goes off without a hitch. But this time, I arrive at the pickup spot expecting a discreet in and out, and instead, I find a whole construction crew at work. That was not what we'd agreed. But I couldn't just let it go, so I reached out to him again the same way as usual. He replied, and do you know what he said? He told me that the item's now in the Palais Mermonia.
How did that person
Well,
know?
He wasn't lying about that.
Well, unless it was already the Lost and Found was
He
already
insisted
published
that it would
at
be
that point.
inconvenient for him to make an appearance himself, but said that if I could somehow find a way to retrieve it from the Palais, he'd give me a discount on the price. Of course it wasn't the discount that swung it. Do I look like I'm strapped for cash?
Feeling smug now, are we?
Feeling smug now, are we?
No, please go easy on me.
Yeah, you better
Go on.
beg.
Where was I?
Here.
Well, anyway, I thought to myself, seeing as the item itself came from Natlan, it would make more sense if I could find someone from there to go retrieve it. And by a stroke of complete and utter coincidence, I just so happened to see these two young folks wandering around, so I'm so very sorry. I underestimated the pair of you.
I need you to clear something up for me. You haven't paid the seller yet, correct? And yet he told you to collect the item from the Palais Mermonia. Was he not worried that you just split afterwards?
Well, to be honest, though I can't claim to know him very well, he, on the other hand, seems to know my name and where I live. Besides, this
Well,
is a guy
that's
who managed to get his
concerning.
hands on an ancient Natlanese weapon. That's probably not the kind of person I want to double-cross.
Fair. That makes sense. So, Mr.
Please, just call me Argento.
All right, Mr. Argento. Listen very carefully to what I'm about to say. It will determine how much of the rest of your life you'll be spending beneath the waves.
Oh, fun.
What does he mean? Is he gonna drown him just like they do in those gangster
No, that's where they
films?
have their prison.
Oh, I get it. He's talking about that place at the bottom of the Fontainian Sea.
Shh, can it?
Owing to your suspected involvement in the illicit trade of Natlanese relics, you're now one of the suspects in an international smuggling case. A trip to the Opera Epiclese seems unavoidable at this stage, but on the bright side, you still have one chance to make things right.
Okay. Do I really? Please tell me what
Gotta
to
help
do.
us catch the original perpetrator.
It's very simple. Just reach out to your seller in the same way as usual, arrange to meet, bring the money, and make the deal. Just be sure to let me know all the details. I'm talking time, place, the whole lot. If we can catch the other party by doing this, you'll have gone some way toward redeeming yourself. Understand?
Oh, I see. I understand. You shall have my full and unadulterated cooperation.
Well, let's
Good.
hope he doesn't figure it out.
Don't break the law, and don't even think about making a run for it. The Palais Mermonia will be watching you and ensuring your safety. All right, take the box, but leave your ID and other documents behind. You can go now.
All right, guess
As
that's
for you
that.
two, protocol dictates that I should take you both back to the Palais and have you sign a confidentiality agreement. But that would take a lot of time and effort.
So let's just not tell Nouvelette that you heard anything.
See, Mr. Kakuku knows exactly where I'm coming from. So, I was thinking, since you're all friends of the Traveler...
I understand, sir. We got dragged into this by accident, and it has diddly squat to do with us. And out of respect for the Traveler, we won't say another word.
Oh, I know this part. We better keep our mouths shut, or we'll both be sleeping with the fishes in the tailor-made pair of cement shoes. In
Okay,
that
how many
case,
movies has
I
Aurora
understand
watched?
completely.
Not exactly what I was going for, but if that's how you want to understand it, then be my guest. Then it's settled. Thanks for your help.
Oh, guess that is essentially a deal with the Mafia then.
Boy, am I glad that's over. That's enough work for one day. Time to head back.
Bye, Rivesley. So, now we're gonna get the rundown of the
Judging by your
situation.
expression, it must be good news, huh?
It went smoothly, on the whole.
Aw, thanks for the pats. Appreciate them. Thank you, thank you. Rivesley recounts what happened. All makes perfect sense, but somehow it feels like Rivesley has glossed over a lot of the bro talk.
So basically, we hold off until Argento and the other party have set up the next stage of the transaction. Then we plan our next move.
Patience will be key.
I get that.
Yep,
It's like
I
hunting.
noticed it was from you. Appreciate
I'm just
that,
not
dude.
sure the other
Thank you
party
very
will take the
much.
bait so easily.
Well,
I appreciate that you
if you
chose
didn't need
pats
the money,
over
or if you valued
violence.
self-preservation over making a profit, you could have walked away as soon as the contraband was brought to the Palais Mermonia. On top of that, although he hasn't shown his face yet, he seems to have no followers or accomplices, and he's relying on an extremely limited set of options to push the deal along. So, if you ask me, he seems like someone who cares a lot about his image and has a somewhat high opinion of himself, but
Good
lacks
night.
any real ability.
Alright, good night. See you
I almost
around.
get the feeling
See
that
you
if
around.
he misses out on this opportunity, he
Chances
won't have
are
any other
maybe
way
I'll
of
be
making
streaming
money.
the game again next week. Same time, probably. We'll see. Soft confirmation that same time next week I'll be playing the game again.
His every move
Going
is
to
like
sleep.
a spin of the roulette wheel.
Have a good night.
Hoping that the
Sleep
ball
tight.
will
Don't
land
let the bed
exactly
bugs
where he
bite.
wants it to. Or, I don't know. Maybe he'll cut his losses and vanish into thin air, and our efforts will have been in vain. At least Natlan will get the stolen relic back, so it won't have been for nothing.
In that case, let's hope his arrogance stays in play.
Everyone, I
Again,
have just
thank you
briefed
for
the
the follow,
Marechaussee Phantom
and for
on the
joining me.
situation. As soon as there are any further developments, we will act without delay. When that time comes, we will be relying on your help.
Leave it to us.
We'll be waiting for the good news.
Alright, Act 2 complete. Eric! What's up? How are you? Nothing much, nothing much. Doing pretty well, I'd say. Probably, at least. Alright, morning the day after tomorrow, so that's another 1-2 day time skip. There we go. Yeah, just currently playing the Genshin event thingy. That's going on. Which is, for some reason, only around for a relatively short time frame. Again, normally when you have multiple acts in an event, you'd expect it to be around for more than just 2 weeks, but... No, they decided 2 weeks is enough for this one.
Contact us this morning. That must mean there's been some progress. No time to waste. Let's head out.
But yeah, generally I'm doing well. I'm more so looking forward to Tribe 9 than Genshin as far as gacha games are concerned, but oh well. And yeah, the majority of characters has a voice. I think so far there have been 2 characters in this event that haven't been voiced. One of them being Charlotte, and the other one being one of the Melusines within Parley Memoria, right? Because I think when you pass through, there's 3 characters that randomly chime in from the side as you walk through, and one of those 3 characters didn't have a voice, but did have text that they were meant to say. But as for the actual text box dialogue, only one of the characters isn't voiced in this event. And I do appreciate the fact that most characters here are voiced now.
Hey everyone! We're not late, are we?
No, you're just in time. Well rested, I trust?
Staying busy keeps you sharp.
A great way to stay energetic, certainly.
Have you all started preparing?
We received word from Mr. Argenteau yesterday, confirming the time and location of the transaction. It'll take place this afternoon, and it turns out it'll be somewhere we all know pretty well, too. The film Fantasyland restaurant.
Oh,
Huh,
really?
intriguing.
Huh. He sure does like that place.
But
Seems
there's
like
gonna
you
be a
share
lot
our
of people.
concerns, Traveler.
Indeed. Capturing someone in a crowded event venue will be much more challenging than in an open area. The criminal might try to blend in with the crowd, or even escape by taking hostages. In light of this, we've had to make additional preparations. As soon as we received the news yesterday, we began coordinating with the Marechaussee Phantom and the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
Mm-hmm. We'll be deploying lots of undercover agents
All
on
right,
site.
that's good.
If things go south, the safety of the civilians will be our top priority. Of course, fingers crossed, everything will go without a hitch.
I noticed a bunch of familiar faces from the previous case, like Captain Chevres of the Special Patrol. So I'm feeling optimistic.
We'll trust your instincts then. Oh, yeah, and by the way,
Well, let's
we've
get
also
going
been in
then.
communication with Miss Lapine Pauline and Miss Navia.
The Spina di Rosula will provide support within a controlled scope, so there's no need to worry.
The only potential issue is with Miss Escoffier.
She doesn't want to serve criminals?
It would be easy if it were that simple.
Ahem.
All right, no more jokes. Miss Escoffier has made it clear that she doesn't want her restaurant to suffer any losses as a result of this operation. But,
I mean, that's understandable, I guess.
I have a feeling things might not go quite as smoothly as she hopes.
Is there anything I can do?
To be honest, we shouldn't have dragged you into this in the first place, and it's caused you quite enough trouble already. The Fontainian authorities should be able to handle the rest from here. But still, I'm guessing you'd like to see how it all turns out.
Definitely.
Well then, feel free to head down to the scene, but just stay alert and play it by ear. You won't necessarily have to do anything. Unless things go pear-shaped, of course.
I'll do my best to ensure that things don't escalate to that point.
You're getting involved too, Kenichi?
Of course. There
Well,
are still
let's
a
get
lot of
moving, then.
unanswered questions, but our intel so far indicates that the culprit's from Natlan. Plus, I'm already a witness in this case. Might as well see this thing through to the end.
That's the Kenichi we know and love.
The group go on to discuss the specifics of the operation and things to watch out for. For once, the conversation goes surprisingly smoothly, perhaps because Ahau and Kakuku aren't present. It's just as well, really. Things could have gotten awkward if Ahau showed up and started cursing out Nouvelette. Oh no, please
Well,
don't.
that's enough of the small talk.
Don't jinx that ever happening.
The operation's scheduled for the afternoon. If we're quick enough, we'll even have time for a few cups of tea before we leave.
Oh, and let's grab something to eat too. Can't work on an empty stomach, you know.
But won't you just be watching?
And rooting for you. It's a very important job.
All right.
Of course, sure,
I'll head
whatever.
over to the venue now. Ahau's been harping on for days now about this event-exclusive meal he wants to try. Guess I might as well shut him up sooner rather than later. See you in a bit.
I look forward to hearing how it all goes.
Alright, Act 3. Again, a 3-actor event that is only around for 2 weeks. As I keep saying, a lot of the Genshin devs are certainly stupid. Dumb. Idiotic, you might even say.
This beach seems to be getting livelier by the day.
Thanks in part surely to the undercover agents.
Traveler, Paimon's getting kinda hungry. Let's go check out the restaurant menu, shall we?
I guess we shall. The guy with the case. That's gotta be him. Alright, it's business time. Oh, and it's cutscene time. Let's see what they got. That's our suspicious individual, then.
Your friend thought you might be thirsty. Won't you stay and drink it?
Oh! And immediate picture.
I tend to steer clear of drinks left out in the open.
You're surrounded. Give up and come with.
And that's how that goes.
Stop right there!
Oh, look! A surprise performance! Wow! How lucky we are!
Quick, take a photo! After him!
Does look pretty cool with the comic art style.
Sorry, my guy. Unlicensed and illegally docked. This boat's not going anywhere.
Farina hasn't shown up at all. As of now. I can't tell you if Farina has voice because there have been no Farina lines. No Farina lines to speak of.
Lowly worm! No one flies higher than the almighty Dragon Lord! Who's stealing my fun? Ah, you again! You're driving me crazy! Oh, wow, bro!
The Cuckoo's certainly superior to the almighty Dragon Lord. And we've certainly fished up something crazy.
Alright, that's a wrap.
Well, that was a fun cutscene.
Unbelievable! You can't just drag someone around like that! Such blatant disregard for human life. I'm gonna sue the living daylights out of you!
Will you now? I think I did you a favor by pulling you away from your audience. Saved you some face at the very least. As for whether you were facing up or down along the way, well, that was your decision, wasn't it?
Why, you... Alright, I admit it. I was in the wrong. Oh, of course I know the difference between right and wrong, but I had no choice. I desperately needed the money. I
Why?
was an
For
expert
what?
on ancient relics. Not only did I have a successful career, but a happy family too. But my son, I never imagined he'd turn out this way. Fell in with the wrong crowd and ended up shoulder deep in gambling. We had some savings, but he drained them away like a waterfall.
Shouldn't have given them access to your savings
Once
then.
he fell into debt, he had creditors regularly coming over to threaten and intimidate him. I'm his father. How could I just stand by and watch him suffer like that?
Well, you for one you could have just chosen not to give him any more money for gambling.
Oh, my son is about the same age as you are. If only he could have turned out more like you. That's the only reason I needed the money. Please, believe me.
Gambling? Oh no, gacha games? Oh no, his son is a gacha... Oh no. I see the problem now. His son is a Genshin player.
Please, kid, I'm begging you.
Disown that
Help me.
child. Disown your son right now.
I see you're from Natlan too. That makes us brothers. Please, have mercy. I still have a chance to help my son straighten himself out. But only if I get back. If I go to prison now, he'll be doomed, I tell you, doomed! And isn't standing together and fighting for a better future what families do?
Well, not like
Our
this.
fate is in your hands, young man. Please, have a heart.
Something wrong, Kanich? Gone soft, have we?
I don't believe a word you say. Wriothesley had you just about figured out. You're a gambler. Pure and simple.
Oh no, he's the Genshin player!
A gambler? Me? Nonsense! I told you, it's my son!
First of all, are you really from Natlan? You've been keeping tabs on the gun's whereabouts this whole time. You should have recognized at least one familiar face by now. On top of that, the way you threatened to sue me? Spoken like a true Fontainian, if you ask me.
Huh? What kind of logic is that? I can explain. I actually grew up in...
I don't want to hear another word. Ahau, here's your chance. Shut someone else up for once.
The moment I've been waiting for.
Is Ahau actually gonna do something good for once?
Scumbag!
Did that do
Being
anything?
a compulsive liar is one of the hallmarks of a die-hard gambler. I bet you're just a Fontainian pretending to be from Natlan. Even if you have any friends or family to speak of, I'm guessing they've long since cut all ties with you. And you have your depraved ways to thank for that. Of course, I might be wrong.
Okay, Ahau is actually putting in some work.
But does that matter? I'm just here to arrest you. If you're looking for an advocate or a shoulder to cry on, you're out of luck. Besides, prying the truth out of you is exactly what your beloved courts are for. Isn't that right?
Okay, we have another character who isn't voiced. Chevreuse, get out of here. I don't want to see you. That's right. It's been a while, Mr. Kanich. The Special Patrol will take this criminal off your hands now.
Many thanks.
Please, I should be the one thanking you for all the help you've given us.
And me? What about me? So rude. You should be bowing down in gratitude to the almighty Dragon Lord.
No. As you wish. My thanks to you and also Mr. Kakuku, for your show-stopping performances.
Hey, what do you mean? Hold it right there!
Are you okay, Kanich?
Don't worry. I'm fine. I wasn't the one who just got dragged all the way here.
You seemed a little upset just now.
Little Kanich, thinking back to when you were just an itty-bitty boy, Kanich, aren't ya? Aw, don't start crying like a little baby. I am the almighty Dragon Lord! No servant of mine will be seen acting so weak and pathetic in public!
Why not, though?
What are you on about?
Bad, Ahau. Bad.
Still, I suppose there's no point hiding it from you. To put it plainly, I can't stand gamblers.
Oh boy. Don't tell him he's in a gacha game. Oh my god, guys, I think he might be speaking on behalf of the developers. He can't stand the player base. He's speaking on behalf of the devs.
They're the most irresponsible people in the entire world.
I agree.
No respect for the principle that you have to give in order to get.
I agree. Fuck Genshin players.
They'll tell 1,000 lies for a single coin, deluding themselves into thinking they can use it to gamble their way to a vast fortune. But we all know that even when it looks like you're getting something for free, there's always an unseen cost. In the past,
of course,
I also ended up paying a price for my father's gambling losses. I don't want anyone else to end up in a similar situation if I can help it.
Kanich.
Don't feel sorry for me. I certainly don't feel sorry for myself. They say that people are shaped by their past. And since I've made it this far, I must have done a lot of things right. We should never punish ourselves for the mistakes of others. Instead, I choose to remember the moments that helped me grow. Like when I first learned to use a grappling hook.
Tiny Kanich.
Or the very first time I yearned for knowledge.
Still tiny Kinich. I get it.
Yeah, I believe you. Let's get going. If we don't head back soon, we'll cause more unnecessary worry.
Alright, return with Kinich. I am here. Oh no. Back to this character.
Yay! Traveler Kinich, you're back! We just saw Chevro's taking the criminal away. She looked pretty pleased with herself.
Well, it did go smoother than expected.
So after so much running in circles, turns out he had no fight in him, huh? Guess running away was the only trick up his sleeve. Oh, also, Risley said to let you know that he's already left. He went to report back to the Palais Marmonia.
Of course he's
Apparently,
busy.
the Maréchal say Phantom's preparing to carry out an in-depth investigation into illegal gambling activities. Sounds like they'll have their hands full. Anyway, that's for the Palais to worry about, not really our concern.
Alright. Charlotte, go away. Judging by how fast the Duke took off, I'd say he was avoiding my camera. But I guess I'm used to that by now.
Hey, it's not like you to give up so easily, Charlotte.
It's fine, I got plenty of other great shots back there, more than enough for a front page spread. And on that note, this busy reporter needs to scoot. These photos won't develop themselves. Yes, get out of here. Leave.
Make sure you pick the best shots of Paimon. Oh, already gone. Hope she heard that.
You can trust her judgment, Paimon. She's a professional photographer.
Yeah, you're right. But what took you all so long to get here? Did something happen?
Oh, we just had an arrest to make and stuff. How bonged his head and started crying.
What? Rumors and slander! When have I, the almighty Dragon Lord, Gahulahau, ever sunk to such sniveling?
Always.
Often, actually.
Yeah. Anyway, what's next?
To be honest, I haven't decided yet. At the moment, I've got nothing urgent to get back for.
Alright.
And in any case, the court might need me to testify again. Plus, that
So
gun's
you gotta
still
keep
a
your
key
schedule
piece of
open,
evidence.
I see.
I'll probably have to wait until the case is closed before I can return it to Natlan. So, I guess I'll be sticking around to enjoy the beach a little longer.
And that's Act 3 complete. Which gets me back to Act 1. The staff center. Let's see. Well, I can only select you, so recruit. Staff resume, work experience, follow-up development for the Fontaine Research Institute Stabilization Mechanism Project, logistics supplier for the Fontaine Film Festival, personal strengths, good sense of teamwork, plus willingness to take on menial or difficult tasks. I'm tough enough to handle any amount of overtime and I can bear with half a day off every 7 days of work. Wow. Why can I not scroll? It's lovely that there's no scroll option. I can't use the mouse wheel, I can't click and drag, I can't drag here either. Lovely! What is this scroll bar on the side even for if it doesn't work? I guess I just have to confirm assignment. Stupid. Again, shitty game design. But at this point I'm used to that when it comes to Genshin.
Looks like this particular employee
Alright.
is really getting into their role.
Wishing them success on the job.
You're both doing great. You sound more like bosses than I do. In any case, with this, the Cheval Moran Film Fantasyland is now officially open. Running a theme park is a long-term project. You won't make much if you try and rush it. We're just
That makes
about
sense.
done with our current work setup, so let's take a short break and wait for this cycle's revenue report to come in.
Alright, but I still have 2 left. I guess I have to end the operation cycle because that's what they're telling me to do. Enter the next cycle. cycle too.
Well, the numbers might not look that impressive, but given that we're just getting the ball rolling, I'd say that wasn't a bad start. Building on this momentum, we must consider rolling out more unique business strategies during the next cycle. To draw in the crowds, I've invited one of Fontaine's very own celebrity chefs, my good friend
I'm already aware.
She'll be performing right here
I
in
am
the
already
Amusement
aware
Arts
of
restaurant.
her being
On
here.
that note, let's go catch up with her.
So, is the restaurant part of our business strategy too? There are so many layers to this operation.
Guess we gotta chat it up now. Hi there.
The restaurant is up to standard, and the waterside location will make for a unique dining experience. The beautiful scenic reflections in the water create a stunning backdrop, lifting diners' spirits and allowing them to truly savor their meals. Ingredients, check. Cooking utensils,
Is she a good
check.
character, by the way?
Looks like we're ready to rumble.
I guess during her story quest I'll be able to use her in a trial.
Oh, my employers are here. The president of the Spina di Rasula, plus the famous traveler
I guess I'll
and
be able to
Paimon.
use her later.
I must say, you seem
And
a
by
bit
later, I mean next
overqualified to be
week,
running a
most
film-themed
likely.
amusement park.
I'd say that if anyone here was overqualified, it would be the former head chef of the Hotel de Boer. Wherever you walk, the aroma of fine cuisine follows in your wake.
Let's get back to business. I'm guessing you want the traveler to help me decide the theme dish for each cycle, right?
Theme dish?
This is the business strategy I mentioned earlier. Using Escoffier's top-tier dishes to attract more visitors to the park. But this isn't just about attracting visitors. Her culinary masterpieces will surely have other surprising effects. Just imagine, Paimon, if all you needed was a single ticket to enjoy all the attractions and taste all the legendary food. Wouldn't you be tempted?
Paimon will probably be more than tempted.
Then Paimon come every single day.
Do you do annual passes?
Now, here's the twist. To get the most out of this strategy, the menu can't be made public. Based on research by a certain food branding consultant, many restaurants have started offering a special chef surprise dish. So give me some inspiration every few business cycles, and I'll decide on our next theme dish. Now
Alright then.
give me your hand.
My hand?
A warm and energetic feel. Your hands are calloused from wielding your sword, but still quite delicate. When you grasp its hilt, it's like you're holding the bow of a violin. A sword, then.
Okay, then.
The theme this time shall be strength. All right, let's find out what strength looks like in gastronomical form.
Power Pack Barbecue Ribs. Spend 30% less the next time you upgrade any attraction. Okay, sure.
I've refined the sauce for these barbecue ribs. It's a richer flavor than the classic version, but not at all greasy. The mint extract in the seasoning
I guess
leaves a
we'll
refreshing
upgrade something
aftertaste.
then.
Perfect for indulging yourself after a fun-filled day. But if you ask me, I'd say the artisans need these more than the guests.
The artisans?
As I'm sure you've noticed, this park isn't quite finished. A
Is it
serving of these
ever?
barbecue ribs should
Is
help
it
the
ever gonna be
artisans replenish
finished?
their strength much more quickly. As their bosses, you have an obligation to provide meals for them. So why not invite them to dine here? Who knows? The morale boost might even improve their productivity.
Oh? If I recall correctly, you once served up some special fish and chips for the porters over at the Fleuve Centre. For several days after, the workers were all incredibly efficient. They'd finish 8 hours of work in just 5. And then, because they clocked out early, they'd come back completely refreshed the next day.
Then there's no time to lose.
I guess that's
Go
happening
invite
then.
the artisans over while these ribs are still hot. I'll prepare some side dishes and desserts too.
That's a great
I'll just take the
idea.
desserts,
You're
thank you
live
very
up
much.
to your reputation, Escoffier. Looks like these themed dishes are gonna make a huge difference after all. We'll have to make sure we check in with you regularly.
You and Navia invite the artisans
The
over,
artisans are
inviting them to the
pumpkin
delicious
ready to roll
barbecue
thanks to
ribs.
that themed dish.
And perfect timing, too. Let's take this chance to take the facilities of our eclectic escapades to the next level.
Alright, I shall do that. Upgrade facility. Upgrade. Alright, more visitors, higher ticket price. And
We
then we
should
exit
be
out.
able to attract more customers by upgrading the stall, don't you think?
That's right. Based on my business
Oh.
experience with the Spina di Rosula, I've quantified the service value to help you intuitively understand how satisfied customers are with each stall. An attraction will reach
Well,
its
not very
ideal
satisfied,
revenue
it
only when
seems.
its service value meets customer expectations. As we improve and expand our facilities, expectations will also increase accordingly. When that happens, we can deploy more capable employees or invest funds in training to enhance our employees' skills.
Okay. Train staff. Train. Training success. And now it's accepted. Okay.
Whew. That should be everything. Looks like you've pretty much mastered how to run this park.
Does that mean the quest line ends here?
Thinking about it, we have learned quite a lot, haven't we?
I guess, yeah. I assume that's where the quest line ends and where it just turns into a mini game properly, where I have to just manage it on my own. Just goes to show how well Navi explained it
Oh,
all.
not at all. I wouldn't say I taught you much. Your intuition's been guiding the way mostly. I imagine long-term operations sounded like a scary prospect the first time I mentioned it, huh? But don't let that scare you. Just break things down into smaller steps and tackle them one at a time. Even if you're not a genius or naturally gifted, you'll get it done in the end.
Whoa, seeing your own progress has really got Paimon fired up! Actually, she's gonna jot your words of encouragement right down. From here on out, we'll be running the Cheval Moran Film Fantasy Land
We
together.
got it.
Let's make it a big success!
And that's the end of that. Yup. Quest completed. Did it. And you know what? Because we still have time, I think we might as well wrap up the Mondstadt stuff as well. Let's do that. After all, that is the stuff I didn't wrap up last time around, and we are only a little bit over 2 hours into the stream, so we should be able to finish this in its entirety today. I would assume there's not much more left to this story. Return to special story mode. As you all know, during this year's Windbloom Festival, the people of Mondstadt have banded together to defeat several waves of monsters that have tried to invade our city. Accordingly, we would like to award the title of Windbloom Star to someone who made an outstanding contribution to the defense operation. This is someone who may not look like a strong warrior, but whose keen insights played a vital role in gaining control over the conflict. His words and songs always have a way of lifting people's spirits, and they were a great support to us all. Oh boy, Venti! Let's give a round of applause to this year's Windbloom Star, Venti the Bard.
Wow! Amazing!
Huh? No way, you're really gonna pick me? Why not? You're the perfect person for the job. Alright, does that mean I get unlimited free drinks at the tavern? I'm sure they'll be more than happy to support this year's Windbloom Star. If you'd like, you can even take a drink while you give your acceptance speech to the crowd. In that case, let me swap out the speech for a song. Everyone, the best bard in the land is about to begin his performance, so don't go away. Gather round and lend me your ears. A cutscene! We get another cutscene today! 2 in 1 day. And I assume the song is... either not gonna have lyrics or I'm gonna have to read the lyrics out as this goes on. Oh! Hereby exercise the prayer of formation. And this is happening at the same time! Whoa! Getting real fancy. Ubiquitous earth, flowing water, refined fire, fortifying wind. Oh. Just observe, don't touch it. Traverse the 18th, worldly, and 20th passage. Emergent soul, enter the mortal realm. Elevate festering flesh into sacred blood. O sages, witness my grand endeavor. Well, this is happening. You ready to become a human? How was it? Not bad, right? Did it work? Looks like it did. Now the question is, are you nice? Probably a blend of both, I would assume. Not quite as nice as the mini Durin, but
Albedo,
not entirely evil either, I would assume. Playable Durin when? When? Very smoothly, I'd say. We achieved our goal.
Really? So Mini Durin looks like a human now?
Correct, however, his newly formed body is still stabilizing. We should give him some time. Incredible work, Albedo. I graciously accept the compliment. It really is rather remarkable what we've accomplished.
So, how do you feel right now?
Quite good. I did what I set out to do and achieved a personal goal. I think even she would have made a rare facial expression had she seen it.
She?
My master and mother, Gold Rhine-daughter. A long time ago, she sent me to Mondstadt with the instruction to complete a task of monumental importance, to find the truth of the world. I had a theory about what she meant, and in time I was able to corroborate it. Sure enough, finding the truth of the world basically stood for getting a life. Damn. Damn, your mom really just told you, go get a life. You failure of a son. That might be easy for most people, but for someone like me, it meant doing a lot of learning about a lot of things. I had to find out about myself and the world around me, get to know me and get to know other people. Life is a space that exists between me and the world. To become truly human, I had to inhabit that space. So for an artificial human, finding a life is, in some sense, equivalent to finding the truth of the world.
So that's what she meant, huh? Well, no wonder those monsters wanted to infiltrate the city and replace you. They wanted your life for themselves.
Being alive is just existing, but having a life is what makes you truly human. I think that's the message she wanted to get across to me. Still, I found this whole series of events has given me new inspiration. Becoming human is only the beginning. What follows is the choices a human has to make in life, as well as the kinds of family bonds they will form. Most people would probably see the events of the last few days as something out of a nightmare, but for me, it's just part of my family life. I fear that the carefree existence my brother has enjoyed this far will now come to an end. Just like me, he will have to step into the world and face the same constraints as everyone else.
You've got an unusual family, that's for sure.
Well, I suppose we get it from our mother. She's highly unusual. There are all kinds of families in the world. Some base their life around the family store, others around the farm. In my family, I suppose we tend to the flower beds. And now I'm a gardener too. As long as you feel like you've gained something from the experience. Master never showed her face, but if the Hexen Circle knows what I've done, That means she knows as well and gave her approval. Since devouring Naberius, it would seem she has finally found a modicum of peace. And if so, then I am truly happy for her. She did always have a penchant for madness, you know.
Devouring Naberius? What's Naberius?
Don't worry about it. It's the name of the ruler of life.
What?
Ha! Aunt Alice told me about it not too long ago, but it came as no surprise. I knew Master would do it sooner or later. Excuse me? As for the ruler of life, all I know is this. Naberius is not gone. Instead, because of Master's actions, she and Naberius are now one. In any case, thank you so much for your help during this ordeal and for choosing to stand by my side through it all.
Of course. That's what friends are for.
Paimon took the words right out of my mouth. Hearing you say that means more than I can say. I'll make sure to pass along the sentiment when I report back to Master Jean.
Oh, so you're heading back to headquarters? Well, good luck with the report.
Thank you, I'll get going. Bye, Albedo.
Wow, this Windbloom Festival turned out to be a special one. It feels
I
like
mean, it certainly
really
is special. After all, it's the only one that isn't limited to an event.
Oh, Paimon almost forgot. If the Windbloom Star has already been chosen, what is this year's Windbloom gonna be?
Wanna take a guess?
Venti, you're back.
Well, I couldn't keep my two dear friends in the dark about this year's Windbloom, now could I? What do you think of the Cecilia? I like it. The true feelings of the prodigal son, a sentiment as sweet and warm as a spring breeze. Perfect for the season. Code, give me a hand. Huh? What is it with everyone wanting to hold my hand recently? The mages are very pleased that you and Albedo managed to pass the trial. Albedo received the materials he sought, so you deserve something in return as well. The Hexen Circle wants you to have this. It contains something entirely one of a kind, a secret of sorts. When the time is right, it will reveal itself to you, so no need to open it right away.
Wow, a gift and a mystery all in one. The mages sure love their secrets, huh?
According to the sender, you are probably the only person who could make use of something like this, so I suppose it belongs with you. Alright, thanks. Is it Primo Gems? Well, all I did was deliver it, although I did go to great lengths during this whole ordeal. I suppose a reward for my efforts wouldn't be out of the question.
You've helped a lot, Venti. How about we treat you to a drink?
I guess that is happening. Really? I'll hold you to that, you know. No going back on your word.
Of course, Dad! Let's go to the tavern right now!
Music to my ears. I'm so happy I could fly. It's like this festival was made for me or something. Except you didn't get a voice during it. When no laugh remains for the songs to tell, the world becomes naught but an empty shell. Cruel is fate, cruel it may be, were it not for a hero who would set us all free. Through shadows so cold he sought wisdom untold, chasing a fragrance the wind only knows. Thus wistfulness waned and faded into night, as he stepped from the darkness and into the light. And there we go, that was the last bit of that quest. Took like 20 minutes to wrap up. Let me grab those rewards. See, now there's the story quest that I have unlocked, right? Wait, I just realized something. Did they get rid of story quest keys? Oh no, that's over here. Wait, what is... Because it didn't ask for a key for this anymore. Are keys now only necessary for hangouts? Because the story quest didn't ask for a key. And the keys aren't even displayed on this page anymore. The keys are only displayed on the hangout page. Wait. Do story quests no longer require keys at all? Is that a change they made? Huh. Why did I not know about this? Anyway, I assume this quest will likely take a minute. And by a minute, I mean it will likely take a while to complete. Probably more than 30 minutes. However, how about I play through the first teeny tiny intro segments of it today, just in case it takes more than 3 hours. I doubt it will take more than 3 hours. But if I get a little bit of it done now, then I can be absolutely sure that the next stream will be able to finish within the 3-hour mark. So, let's just get started a little bit.
Navia over there? Oh, it's been a while. Let's go say hi.
Just to see how this quest starts and everything, and then we'll find a good spot where we can cut.
Hey, Navia, what you up to?
Shh.
Guess she's undercover? Why the secrecy?
Get lost, Monica! I don't want to see you back here until you're ready to wake up and start doing things properly!
Yeah, get lost, Monica!
You're a disgrace to my kitchen and to the Hotel de Boer name!
It was an accident.
I'm sorry, did you hear me asking for excuses?
No, I'll do better, I promise.
Why is she so aggressive? She won't even listen to what the poor girl has to say. Oh, hey, cut her some slack.
Gotta love the work atmosphere over there.
Wait! Huh? Who do you think you are telling me? Wait a sec. Navia? So, you're bringing backup now. Suit yourself! You're still wasting your time!
Yep, you didn't want to bring attention to yourself.
Savannah, is this how you always treat your staff?
My staff is right. I'm the one in charge here now. And last time I checked, the Hotel de Boer doesn't take orders from the Spina di Rosula.
Of course. How you run your kitchen is none of our business. But
well,
when a member
remind
of
me
your
never
staff
to
is so
never to try
overworked he
working
becomes
there.
Gravely ill, that most definitely is our business. We're going to stand up for him, whether you like it or not.
Overworked? I've said it before, and I'll say it again. If Fermon can't handle the job, then tough luck. There are plenty of other capable people I can hire instead.
But Fermon can do the job, he just...
Monica, back inside, now!
I thought you kicked her out.
Huh? But you said I shouldn't come back until...
Just do as you're told, and not another word out of you! Come on, we have work to do!
How is it that someone like that got in charge? Like, how did she get up to that position? How did nobody ever hear her speak and be like, damn, this person definitely does not need to be in a position of power over anyone. But no, it's always the assholes that make it to the top.
What a horrible person!
Sorry. Looks like I've dragged you into some drama again.
So who was that?
Her name is Savannah. She's the new head chef at Hotel de Boer. Ever since she took the job, she's been enforcing a brutal work regime and putting a huge amount of pressure on her staff.
Yeah, I noticed.
One guy was so overworked, he collapsed from illness. He's been bedridden for days, and he can barely even talk properly.
I'm sorry.
Aw.
It's all my fault. I don't deserve to be a chef.
At his family's request, the Spina di Rosula is trying to mediate on his behalf. We're not exactly making a ton of progress, as you saw. Savannah is adamant that Fermont's exhaustion and illness have nothing to do with her or how she's been running her kitchen. She's refusing to have any kind of meaningful dialogue with us.
Well, then I guess we gotta kill
Our
her.
next thought was to talk to the other chefs at the restaurant and get a better idea of their working conditions. But with Savannah watching them like a hawk, no one has been willing to open up. And that's why I'm here, doing it the old-fashioned way. Camping out, watching, and waiting for an opportunity.
So you're waiting for Savannah to leave.
Oh, shoot! It all makes sense now. Sorry. Paimon should have thunk before she spoke. Did Paimon ruin everything?
Yes, as per usual.
Oh, no, not at all, Paimon.
No.
Honestly,
You don't just give
the
it
way she was
to
laying
her
into
straight. She
Monica,
ruined
someone
everything.
had to
Tell her
step in.
that.
I'm sure I would have piped up if you hadn't. And besides, I I don't really think I'm built for espionage.
Either way, Savannah's senior now.
Yeah, meaning it's gonna be all the more difficult to get the inside scoop now. Oh, I might as well head back to the Fleuve Cendre then. We'll need to come up with a whole new game plan.
Paimon will join you, cause this is kinda all Paimon's fault.
Then I'll join you too.
Guys, it's fine. You don't need to worry about it. That said, if you were planning to visit the Fleuve Cendre anyway, let me take you out for a meal. I'll make sure it's a proper feast.
Then let's get going.
A really famous chef just joined the Spina di Rosulas tavern. Her name is...
Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to apologize for the scene you witnessed just now. We shouldn't subject our customers to that.
Oh no, it's
This is a
entirely
small
the fault
token from
of a
us.
certain
It's
someone.
some candy from Monica. She asked me to make sure it was delivered into your hands.
Okay.
Monica's the one apologizing?
But screw Savannah.
Clearly Savannah is the one who owes an apology.
Our head chef has been a little highly strung lately. Sorry for everything.
Thank you for the gift.
Alright. Since there's candy, Paimon will drop it. Not the candy.
Thank you for understanding. We'll make sure to pass your feedback on to Miss Savannah.
Screw Savannah.
A little highly strung, huh?
Looks like with Savannah in the kitchen, even the waiting staff are on edge.
Paimon doesn't get it. How did someone like her even become head chef?
Well, according to Fermat's family, she hasn't always been like this. But that's a story for another time. Let's try this candy.
Ah yes, never underestimate Navia's affinity for sweets.
Paimon totally gets it. Come on, dig in! Huh? Hold on, there's something written on the wrapper. Find... Escoffier?
Escoffier, the person we met in the event already. Now we get to actually know this person.
Could this mean...
Now we actually get to know what they're like.
Huh? You know that name, Navia?
Yeah. Let's stick to the plan and go back to the Fleuve Cendre for now. That's where we'll find Escoffier anyway.
Well, let's get going. To the underground. And we're here.
So, who is this Escoffier anyway?
Well, for starters, she used
Well,
to be
there
the
she
head
is.
chef at the Hotel de Bourg, before Savannah. She recreated the legendary Gâteau de Bourg and restored the restaurant back to its former glory. Safe to say, she's the most renowned head chef in the Hotel de Bourg's history. After the culinary genius Modeste himself.
Gâteau de Bourg? That's the super exclusive cake that they only sell a few slices a day, right? Wow. Why the heck would she let Savannah take her place?
And why can't we assassinate
apparently,
Savannah?
The Hotel de Bourg was reported for a safety incident. Someone claims that the kitchen was adding an illegal substance to their menu, but none of the chefs had any idea how it could have gotten into the food. In the end, Escoffier decided that as head chef, she should take responsibility, and she was sent to the fortress of Meripede.
Oh, wow.
The Fortress of Meripede?
Oh, don't be so dramatic. It was probably just a formality.
Well, you're right. The quantity of the substance they found was fairly minimal. Even the guards believed the whole thing was probably just an accident. Escoffier didn't have to stay in the fortress for long, but still, by the time she returned, the role of head chef had already passed to Savannah.
So that's what happened. Paimon still thinks it's really unfair.
Even though Escoffier is no longer head chef at the hotel, she's still well respected by the staff. So, I'm guessing what Monica wants is for us to convince Escoffier to try and negotiate with Savannah on the staff's behalf.
Perhaps.
Oh, Paimon gets it! Monica wants Escoffier to come back and kick Savannah out. It's
That would be the
simple.
best case
If the new
scenario.
head chef is stressing everyone out, then the solution is just get the old one back.
Well, about that.
You thought cream of mushroom soup was ready to
She's
serve
also
after
very
3
strict.
and
Yeah,
a
we
half
kind of saw her
minutes on
yell
the
at people
stove.
earlier.
You'd have had more sense serving hot water with ice cubes. At least then you wouldn't have wasted all this perfectly good cream and mushroom. What do you say, Hilaire?
I'm sorry, Cream. I'm sorry, Mushroom.
As you
Well
can
then.
see, Escoffier is that kind of chef as well.
At least she's competent? How's the Hotel de Bois made it this far?
You have to leave it on the heat for long enough to allow those flavors the chance to come out. Don't be fooled by the aroma when the water first starts to boil. Got it?
Yes, Chef.
Then go back and do it again. The customers are still waiting. Remember where you went wrong and don't repeat the same mistake twice.
Instead, make another mistake.
Yes, Chef.
Well, I guess we'll talk to her now.
Excuse us,
Waiting to be served? Sorry, we're pretty busy. I'm afraid you have to join the line.
Oh, no, we're not here to eat.
So you're not paying customers? Then I'm afraid the wait will be even longer.
It's hard to talk to Escoffier when she's in the zone. Let's take a seat. We can catch up while we wait.
I guess. I don't know if will end after this dialogue segment or if I will go for one more segment of the story. We'll see how it goes.
Looks like the rush hour is finally over. Is it always this busy here?
These days, yes. I'd say business has tripled since Escoffier joined as temporary head chef.
She didn't want to go back to Hotel de Bois?
Well, in her words, the Hotel de Bois doesn't need her anymore. It doesn't look like she's got any plans to go back.
I see.
I guess I'll be heading off then.
Wait, take these home with you. We can't serve them now, and there's no sense in letting them go to waste.
Oh, thank you, Chef.
For what? Like I said, I just don't want them going to waste. Oh, and tell Fiamma to get well soon, so you're not running yourself ragged every single shift.
Well, I guess there's some kindness beneath the tough exterior.
Fiamma.
At least.
That's the second time we've heard that name. Who is that again?
He's the chef that fell ill from stress. Hilaire is his son. And with Mom stuck at home taking care of Dad, he decided to pick up some work to help pay the bills. Escoffier knows their situation, so she's been making some extra food every day for him to take home.
Hey, I heard that, Navia. I've told you before. No one's making extra food.
Sure.
Hilaire is making blunders in the kitchen, and I can't serve his failed dishes, so he might as well take them home.
Of course.
Yeah. Failed dishes that just so happen to be nutritionally complete every single time.
So you two must be the world
So at
famous
least, unlike
traveler and his
Savannah,
companion,
again,
Paimon. Yes.
they both come across as
Is there
rude, but
something I
Savannah
can help you with?
doesn't have the soft side underneath and is just straight up an asshole.
So you know us already. We'll skip the introduction then. We are here to talk about Savannah.
You must be aware of the situation with Savannah.
Oh, I certainly am. The Spina's headquarters are right next to the tavern. And I've lost count of the number of times Navi has come to pester me about it. But I don't work for the Hotel de Bois anymore. And being ex-head chef doesn't give me the right to interfere with that business. Besides, I'm the one who persuaded Savannah to take the job in the first place.
Why?
Well, she was a much gentler person back then.
Oh, that was
A
even
little
worse.
timid even. She wasn't at all confident that she was the right fit for the role.
That's hard to believe. Are we definitely talking about the same Savannah here?
Honestly, I do wonder if she's just emulating me. I mean, I'm not the most pleasant head chef to be around either.
At least she's self-aware.
Anyway, suffice to say that given the history between us, it'll be tricky for me to tell her she's doing her job wrong without coming across like a huge hypocrite. Fiamma and the others probably think that Savannah gets it all from me.
I wouldn't be so sure about that, Escoffier. Look at this note we got from Monica.
You give Monica's candy wrapper to Escoffier.
She mentioned me.
Whatever shortcomings you feel you have, it looks like Monica still trusts you. As for the others, well, how can you know what they think unless you ask them?
Monica.
Plus, it's not like we're asking you to storm in there and raise hell.
No, that's
We're
exactly
only
what
in
we're
the
asking you
initial
to
phase
do.
of our investigation. All we're trying to do is get the other chefs to open up to us.
Oh, Monica. Oh, Monica.
Escoffier?
I can't believe her. Powdered sugar is supposed to be applied sparingly. Look at all that on the wrapper. It's thicker than the sole of my shoe.
Oh boy.
Unbelievable. I won't stand for this. She has to learn. Come
Well,
on, we're going.
I guess this is happening now.
So now
She has the angry walk. We have a new walk cycle. New walk cycle unlocked. She does the mad walk. Internet is so bad right now. Don't worry, Spinne. You won't need the internet for much longer because my stream is soon gonna end. And at that point, what else could anyone possibly want to use their internet for? Well, whatever the reason she came up with, at least she's convinced herself to go have a conversation.
Let's go catch up to her. We don't want to keep her waiting.
Oh, but I will keep her waiting. If I can. If I can, I will keep her waiting. I don't think I'm allowed to keep her waiting. Oh, no, I can keep her waiting. And I will keep her waiting until next week. Again, presumably, if nothing strange happens, then next week I will stream same day, same time, and continue this. Again, the Genshin streams recently have been less than 2 hours. Less than 3 hours. Just over 2 hours. Which, yeah. Again, we compensate for this by making the Persona streams longer, right? Right? And hey, there is a decent chance that the next Persona stream might be the last one. So that being the case, I might have to make it longer. Again, if... Oh god, there's an epilogue. Of course there's an epilogue. Of course there's a fucking epilogue. Of course there's a fucking epilogue. I'll do the whole managing thing so we can start next week off of this. You know what? In that case, I will continue this story a little bit longer. I will continue for the next segment of this story because next week we also got to do the epilogue of, you know, that stuff. So let's see this before we wrap up.
Wait, she looks like... Is that Escoffier?
Escoffier's back? Yes, I've missed her cooking.
She's just here to complain, though.
I was just saying, Hotel de Bourg is nothing without her.
You can't match Escoffier's talent.
Well, it seems like the people really like her.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Alright. What's up?
I'm so sorry. I messed up your order.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. Maybe the taste is a little off, but if you hadn't brought it up, I don't think I would have noticed.
But, please, you have to forgive me or Chef is gonna... Okay, I know. I'll kneel before you.
What the heck?
Yeah, there's
Get
some weird
up,
stuff
Monica.
going on.
Can't you see that you're just making your customer feel more awkward?
Escoffier?
If you want forgiveness, then do what any self-respecting chef would do. Make the dish again. And this time, get it right. You cannot go begging your customers to feel sorry for you.
Savannah said that I'm not allowed back in the kitchen until I've corrected
Again.
my mistake.
So she's an asshole and she's stupid.
Kitchen, I can't do the dish over.
That's some backwards logic. How can you fix your mistake without being allowed to cook? If this is what Fermat had to put up with, then no wonder he had a breakdown.
We apologize for interrupting your meal, sir.
It's fine. With my layman's palate, it's not like I can tell the difference anyway. I was actually quite enjoying my meal until she appeared out of nowhere and started apologizing. Gave me a bit of a fright, to be honest.
Oh, well, it's because Chef Savannah tasted a bit of the leftover soup from my pot and then threw me out of the kitchen.
Gosh, that's pretty strict. Has she always been that way?
She is an
I don't
asshole,
recall things being
but
like
apparently
this
she
when
hasn't
Escoffier
always
was
been
head
that
chef
way.
here. I gotta say, you're all looking a little worse for wear these days.
I mean, Escoffier was strict too, but
Gordon
I think the difference
Ramsay.
is that her criticism was more constructive, so you knew what you
yes.
did wrong and how to improve.
Female
and
Gordon Ramsay is in Genshin Impact.
we all
it
knew that it
seems.
came from a good place. Chef Escoffier was hard on us because she truly wanted us to reach her level. But these days, whenever we make a mistake, we just get told to wake up, get your head in the game, or just do it again. And it's only gotten worse since word got out that Chef Escoffier had started working again in the Fleuve Cendre.
Monica, you don't need to call me chef. I'm not the boss here anymore.
Yeah, but through no fault of your own. What happened back then, that wasn't on you, and all of us know that. That
Doesn't
banquet
matter.
was a
She still
huge
went to
event,
jail.
and so many staff were involved every step of the way. With so many moving parts, there's no way of knowing how that Lumiline ended up in the food we served.
Lumiline? What's that?
A new drug from the Fontaine Research
Oh.
Institute.
They
Produced
drugged
from
the
an
food.
extract
How
of
fun.
the Lumitwal. Apparently it sharpens the senses, so they used it to treat people with impaired responses to stimuli.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that. They found out you can use it as a flavor enhancer since it stimulates the taste buds. Makes things pretty addictive.
They also found that overuse can have mood-altering effects, and even lead to nerve damage.
Oh, we like
so
nerve
it quickly
damage.
ended up on the guards' list of controlled substances. Unfortunately, however, some food products containing the additive had already made it to the market by the time the guards banned it from the restaurant industry.
Everyone knows that in all likelihood, someone probably just purchased a batch of contaminated ingredients by mistake. But you took all the blame. We all know why. You just didn't want to see this turn into a place where tensions are constantly running high. Because everyone's suspicious of each other all the time. And now look at you. A fry chef in the Fleuve Cendre.
What are you trying to say? Sure, the Spina's Tavern is no Hotel de Boer, but come on. It's not that bad, is it?
Oh, but it is, by
The
comparison.
Fleuve Cendre, you say? Great. That's where I'm dining from now on.
Monica, I'm very happy with my current job. And there's no changing the past. We just have to let bygones be bygones. Besides, at the end of the day, I was the head chef, regardless of whose mistake it was. Ultimately, the responsibility lay with me.
If only Savannah was half the boss you were.
I'm sorry?
Cut
Do
her
you
in
have
half.
a problem with my conduct as head chef?
Everyone has a problem with it.
No, chef.
It's plain to see. You don't even need to be. You don't even need to have an insider's
So,
perspective
you do
to
remember
see
who's
it.
boss. Escoffier? I thought you'd left this place for good. What are you doing back here?
What happened to you, Savannah? Why are you acting like this? When I turned this place over to you,
You made me the head chef and gave up your right to tell me how to do my job. You're
Why
not the
doesn't
boss
everyone
here
just
anymore.
quit?
So stop acting like you own the place.
Why doesn't everyone just quit? Hey, so how about you just, you're the new head chef at, just invite, just
Sounds like
take
someone
all
has
the
a chip on her
employees,
shoulder.
just take all the employees here and get them to your new restaurant down below in the underground. Just ask everyone here to quit and, join up with you again. Makes everything easier. Maybe we should give them some space.
Oh, Savannah! My God, have you grown a temper since I last saw you? Have you put even half the amount of energy into improving your cooking skills, or are you still using the Pluie Lotus as an off-brand marcotte, thinking no one can tell the difference?
That's none of your business!
What happened to not storming in and raising hell?
Too late.
Oh, I was not expecting to see something this spicy as soon as Escoffier returned.
I was not expecting the accent.
Aye, miladies. might I make a humble suggestion? Given that we have ourselves a tête-à-tête between chefs at the Hôtel de Bord, I dare say it would be de rigueur to settle this the traditional way.
Cook-off?
The traditional way? That can only mean one thing.
Sounds like we're in for a history lesson.
That's right. I'm talking, of course, about the tradition established by Modeste himself.
Yep.
The cooking contest.
According to legend, the founders of Hotel de Boer, Modeste
like
and
that.
Savelli,
I mean, hey,
used this
accents
method
are a
to
thing that
resolve all
exists,
of their
you know.
disputes. Everything from petty arguments over next week's menu to disagreements over the strategic direction of the restaurant. The cooking contest would decide who had the final say.
Huh. It sounds like they had a lot of free time on their hands.
Ah, well, it might sound that way to us. But in fact, the cooking contest played an enormous role in motivating chefs to hone their skills, reaching new heights of excellence in the culinary arts.
Is that so?
Indeed, the reintroduction of this institution in recent years has surely been instrumental in transforming the Hôtel de Bord into the top-ranking restaurant in Fontaine.
Reintroduction? Someone brought it back? Who?
Well, who could it have
What
been?
say you, Escoffier? Surely you of all people won't back down from this challenge. It was you who put the rule in place, after all.
Thought so. There's your answer, Paimon.
Sure, I reinstated it, but I'm not a chef at Hotel de Boer anymore. Isn't this bending the rules a little?
I see no issue as long as both sides agree to the terms. We could simply treat it as an exhibition of sorts. Savannah, any objections?
Exhibition. Huh. No.
She's scared because she knows she's gonna get absolutely
We're going to
demolished.
battle it out. Let's put it all on the line.
Oh, never mind.
If I lose, it's up to you what happens to me.
I don't want anything to happen to you.
But if you lose, you hand over the Codex de Board to me.
What? The Codex de Boer?
What is that?
Only the legendary
Can't win against a playable
handbook
character,
written by
exactly.
the original head chef Modeste. It contains all his secret recipes, including Gâteau de Boer. It's the greatest treasure in Fontaine's culinary world. And only the present
Oh,
and
you
former
know
head
if it's the
chefs of
gold.
the Hôtel de Boer have the right to read it.
Guys, it's the 5-star. She got the 5-star recipe book.
Present and former. Wait, but that already includes Savannah, though.
What do you want that old thing for? You have your own copy, don't you?
Don't take me for a fool. You know perfectly well what I mean. I want your copy. The original version. The one you took with you when you left us.
I'm sorry, I must be missing something. You know, there's no difference between the original and the copy, right? They contain the exact same recipes.
Stop trying to change the topic. What's wrong, Escoffier? Scared you're gonna lose to me? Or are you scared of me getting my hands on the original codex?
Savannah, you may remember that we gave her the original as a parting gift to thank Escoffier for her years of service. Asking for it back feels a little,
Again. Like you're behaving like an asshole,
Oh,
which
I'm
she
sure
is.
it won't be an issue, as long as both sides agree to the terms. Those were your words, weren't they? And as for the contest itself, let's make it a bake-off. Gâteau de Boer, per the recipe in the codex. Well, Escoffier, you against me. Are you in or out?
You sound surprisingly confident. All right then, let's see how much you've actually grown.
All
I
right,
hope you
cook
surprise
off
me,
it is.
Savannah. I'd hate to find out that all you've learned after this
You
long
like
is how
the-
to
you
chew
like when
people's
they-
heads off.
Is that so? Is that so? Is that so? Interesting.
Believe me, I'll show you.
So I assume you've already played the story
Are you
quest
sure this
then.
is a good idea? You accepted her terms a little hastily.
So I assume you have played the story quest but
Oh,
not the event
it'll
yet.
Be fine. Let's head back to the Fleuve Cendres so I can get prepping.
Which means you can now safely return. Quest yes, event no. Alright. Welp. I will be playing more of the event again next week. I think I'll do one more dialogue segment before I wrap this up. Because I've kind of gotta cut it because the epilogue of the event only unlocks after you finish doing a certain like part of the event that is like a management type dealio. So I'll do the managing stuff in between the streams. Probably shouldn't take too long to do, and then we can see the epilogue and the rest of this quest line next week.
This whole bake-off thing kind of came out of nowhere. Was it really sensible to just go along with it?
Well, I got a sense that she's holding something back. But we chefs always express ourselves in our cooking. So if she won't talk, this might be the best way to find out what's really going on with her.
Okay.
Holding back? Sure didn't sound that way to Paimon.
Escoffier only picked up on it because she's the same way. Always closed off, never letting you know what she really thinks.
Never let people see into your head.
At least where your macarons are concerned. I've been nothing but truthful with you about the disgraceful amount of sugar you use.
Okay. That's one case where you can keep your thoughts to yourself.
So anyway, what's this Codex de Boer she's so obsessed with?
Oh, that? Well, it's not so much a recipe book as a diary of Modest's adventures. Back in the day, he and his good friend Savelli explored far and wide. Partly adventuring, partly looking for new ingredients and developing new recipes. Their creations had an enormous influence on the course of Fontaine cuisine, turning it into a much more vibrant and diverse scene. For instance, legend has it that the original Gâteau de Boer was made using a special secret ingredient
This is making me hungry.
that
I want
Modeste
some
discovered on one of his adventures.
I really want something sweet
So
now.
rare was the ingredient that they could never make more than 16 slices of the cake per day. But everyone who tried it claimed that it was one of the most blissful and invigorating things they had ever tasted. Modeste and Savelli went on to found the original Hôtel de Boer, which catapulted them to stardom in Fontaine's culinary world. Especially Modeste. He was hailed as a once-in-a-generation genius. And over time, the recipes from his adventure log became known as the Codex de Boer.
Paimon's heard this kind of story before. Armed with the Codex, the Hôtel de Boer took its rightful place as the finest restaurant in the land, serving those recipes for centuries to come. Something like that?
What? No, of course not. Cooking is a constantly evolving art form. How can any restaurant survive if they only serve food that was popular last century?
I'm sure there would be
Anyway,
some
never mind
ways.
centuries. Savelli and Modeste parted ways not even 10 years after their rise to fame. Then, Modeste passed away while he was still in his prime. And that was it. The end of the Hôtel de Boer's heyday. It fell into decline, and for most of its history, it was just a nondescript place with a couple of cheap tables. It's only in recent decades that it started recovering. Even then, it still took numerous relocations and changes of management before we finally ended up with Vanigem and the restaurant we have today.
Oh! So the Codex really isn't all that, then. Paimon figured it was like one of those mystical books they have in Liue's martial arts novels, where the main character learns all their secret powers from.
I mean, I guess for
Yes,
anyone who's not
well,
really that
that's
well versed in
fiction,
cooking,
and
it
this
might be.
is reality. You can't meet the tastes of modern diners by following some ancient recipes from a dusty old book.
Case in point. Even the Gâteau de Boer they sell now is actually Escoffier's reimagination.
Wait, really? Why though? Didn't that recipe make it into the Codex?
It did, but like I said, it's the dusty old book now, and the records aren't as legible as they once were. Not to mention that there's no way of finding the secret ingredient Modeste wrote about.
Unless...
So, reimagination is right.
Maybe we can find the secret ingredient in this
took what I could from the
quest?
Codex. But ultimately, the Gâteau de Boer of today is my own recipe. As for why we gave it the same name and kept the tradition of only selling 16 slices a day, well, you've got Vanigem's business sense to thank for that.
Oh! Huh. Well, that kind of takes all the mystique out of it.
Hey now, it might not be the original Gâteau de Boer, but it's still the most delicious cake in Fontaine today. And who knows, maybe Escoffier's version is more suited to your palate. Just think, if the original truly was the perfect cake you're imagining it to be, there's no way the recipe would have been lost to history, right? Not to mention that the Hotel de Boer never would have fallen into a slump.
Anyway, before I left my role as head chef, I made a copy of all the recipes from the Codex, including my own improved versions, and turned them over to Savannah.
And she's not so appreciative of that.
Why is she so interested in the original copy?
I don't know.
Could it be a symbolic thing?
Could be a symbolic thing, could
whoever
also
holds
just
the
be like
original
she
Codex
doesn't
de
want
Boer
her
is the
to
true
have
head
it.
chef.
She just doesn't want her to have access to it anymore.
Well, it was clearly precious enough to give to Escoffier as a parting gift. Meanwhile, Savannah only got a copy. Maybe from her point of view, it's like management doesn't truly see her as being worthy of the role.
You think so? The only thing is, it was her suggestion to gift me the original in the first place. Well, a joint decision by her and Venegem. But still.
She really did change then.
Guess she's had a major change of heart since she became head chef. Yeesh.
Who knows? We could speculate forever. Better to just let our Gato do the talking.
What does that mean exactly?
It means vesting her in this bake-off, and then getting her to explain herself, even if I have to beat it out of her with a spatula.
I'd be there for that. You don't mince words.
However much she's changed since we worked together, I believe that she still has her chef's pride. And if she respects the art, she'll respect the outcome of our contest.
Well, I'm confident that you and your spatula can get justice for Froment. All you need to do now is win the contest. But that should be a breeze for you.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Gâteau de Boer is very complicated to make. Usually, it takes 3 chefs working in tandem to cover everything. Now, if I had to push it, I could probably do the work of 3 chefs myself. But I prefer to play it safe if I can find a couple of assistants in time.
Well, you got us. Actually, I was gonna say you got us, but better case scenario, ask all the chefs at Hotel de Boer if they'd be interested in working for you instead. And abandoning Savannah, letting her work all alone.
Well, that's easy. The 3 of us are veterans in the kitchen. You just need to pick 2 of us.
I mean, again, that makes sense, but I like my plan more.
Well, I have heard the Traveler is an accomplished cook, as well as a warrior. But be warned, I will hold you to exceptionally high standards. Think you're up to the task?
Bring it on.
Oh, count me in too. I've spent weeks perfecting my macarons after your scathing review. Even if it means competing against the Traveler, so be it. I'll show you what I'm made of.
Confident. I like it. Alright, let's start with some elementary mise en place. Show me your knife skills.
Show Scoffy your knife skills. Use normal attack to cut the fruit. It seems like she will collect slices and process them into some sublime substance.
I've always called it chopping stuff up, not mise en place. But it's basically the same thing, right?
Oh, Navia. The difference in your case is that mise en place is chopping stuff up without sending juices flying all over the kitchen.
Imagine. There we go.
Looks like you found that easier than I expected.
I mean, I can slice. That is easy.
Thankfully, it was pretty straightforward in the end. You made it sound like we'd be carving statues out of fruits or something.
Well, brace yourself, because the next step is anything but straightforward. I'll be using this cold press to extract flavor compounds from the ingredients.
What's a cold press?
A kind of special food processor I got the Fontaine Research Institute to make for me. It uses cold temperature extraction to isolate the essence of cooking ingredients, which can then be used to flavor dishes more precisely. This isn't exactly standard kitchen equipment, so that probably didn't make a whole lot of sense. Let me give you a demonstration instead.
Okay then. Display your mastery with the cold press. Tap your elemental skill to accelerate the cold press's progress. Use normal attacks to let it do its work. Seems like the special substance extracted from the plants might come in handy here.
Custom-made equipment from the Fontaine Research Institute, huh? That's some pretty high-tech food prep. Paimon's never used anything this weird before. Cool. Not weird.
I like how the animation, that was just the idle animation, I think, but it lined up so perfectly with this. Alright.
A little amuse-bouche.
And there we go.
And done. These are the flavor compounds extracted from our ingredients. I've processed all the fruit you chopped up earlier.
Wow! Even the smell is so much more concentrated. What next? Do we add all this stuff in?
Absolutely not. Throwing everything in at once will ruin the balance of flavors.
Don't just throw everything
we
in,
have to go slowly and carefully to calibrate the exact flavor we want.
Follow along
I'll
with what the chef is
demonstrate
telling us.
Again. Now, watch closely.
Learn at Escalia's feet and master her precision cooking. The flavorings you got from her multifunctional food processor can adjust the flavor profile of the dish. Strike a balance between fruity flavors and floral flavors to adjust the flavor profile, make a delicious dish.
Slowly and carefully. Not a drop too much and not a drop too little.
Alright, let's adjust it. 4, huh? So I can go for 5 of these, and then 1 of these. That easy. Flavor balancing complete!
And voila! Now it's your turn.
Okay. With Escalia's guidance, everyone completes the flavoring process.
Not terrible. Considering this was everyone's first time blending flavor extracts, it could have been worse. But the traveler's work was surprisingly good. Are you sure you've never done this before? You got almost perfect results on your first try.
All thanks to my excellent teacher.
That goes without saying. Still, credit where credit's due. You did well. Alright, now for the part I've been looking forward to. I want each of you to cook something from the Hotel de Boer's current menu. I'll judge your submissions and give you a final score.
Final score?
That's right. The true test of your cooking skills is the finished product. It'll be good practice for the contest itself. Now get to it. Chop chop!
Okay then. And that is where this segment ends. Okay. That's where that story segment ends. Next time we will submit a dish and continue further. We will also, again, be doing the epilogue of this. So that's gonna be happening. Again, in all likelihood, I will stream this game again next week at the same date, same day and time, if all things go according to plan. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and quickly see if there's anyone who we can raid real nice and quick. So everyone who's currently still here, be sure to stick around for the raid, because if you do, you're gonna get extra channel points, which you can use for a variety of different things, such as annoying me, or praising me, or doing anything at all. Alright, now one of my usual list. Again, I guess we're just gonna be trying to see if we can find a random Genshin streamer to raid again. And who's that random Genshin streamer gonna be? Thank you, Spinner, for demonstrating what you can do with those channel points that you're gonna get for the raid. Let's see. What is this person all about? I see, they're playing with Japanese audio. Good choice. That means they have all voices. That means they're not missing out on any voice files. You know what? Sure. Let's rate this person. They seem nice enough. Alright. Let's send the raid over. And everyone, thank you so much for joining me. Next stream is on Friday for FNF. I hope you'll be there, because FNF is definitely what I usually expect to when I usually expect to see most people join me, which is fair. We're here to have a lot of fun with FNF. I already have some stuff lined up for this coming FNF stream, so I hope to see you then. In any event, thank you so much for being here. I'll see you around. Until next time, have a good one and goodbye. And if you're watching this after it's been uploaded to YouTube as a VOD, your support has also been greatly appreciated. And you know what? If you want to catch me live in the future, you can easily do so. All you have to do for that is check the description down below to find a link to my Twitch, where I stream every single Friday and Saturday and other days of the week too, although that is a bit more of an irregularity. In any event, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you around another time. Until then, have a good one, and goodbye. Bye-bye.